Greetings, everybody, and welcome to episode 15 of Custom Cap Collectors. We were on hiatus last week. Some sicknesses, some travel, but it was funny because when it came around at 9 o'clock on Monday night, I'm sitting in my hotel room going, gosh, I wish I was talking about hats right now. So I miss chatting with my hat enthusiasts who are regulars here. And if you've not watched the show before, we've got Aaron. Aaron, show us what you're wearing.
I am wearing, help me, Mike, it's Mallard Lake, correct?
Mallard Lake, yeah.
Yep. This was definitely a favorite when it first came out. This was like, I feel like this was during a time when those type of landscapes in a shape, were a big thing, but I really loved the metallic green around the shape, and it just made everything else inside pop. Definitely a gorgeous hat, and a hat color that's definitely outside my comfort zone. Real winner.
Thanks. I actually had to fight for the metallic green on that one.
All right, and we've got he goes by Caps and Dogs on Instagram. Adam, show us what you're wearing today.
Yo, what's up? Combustion. Yeah. Mike and Rusty Bees, aka Brandon. Recent score, as I was just saying off camera, Mike, if I didn't have a plug in San Diego, definitely wouldn't have been able to obtain it either. In my size.
Yeah. That was a hot commodity.
Yeah, it was. Hot dead stock commodity, we should say.
Yeah.
And we've got Jesse, who goes by Only a Few Fitted Hats, which almost as
Only
many
a few.
letters for the screen.
Yeah.
But
Might be
It's no longer true. It's no longer true, actually.
it's a lie.
So I have Snow Ghost. Here we go, perspective, which turned out really beautiful. We're not going to look at my bangs because they look terrible, but the hat, here we go.
There you go.
The hat looks really gorgeous. The stitching is beautiful. The details are so nice. Really. All right.
That literally showed up in my house this week. So, and partly because I saw your version of it, or your in hand, and I'm like, ooh, yes, I need that in my collection.
The nails helped for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Fun.
When it was up for pre-order, I already had one Clink hat that had snow owls on it. And I'm like, I got one. Do I really need two? And then, yes, I need two, as it turns out. So,
Right.
Well, it's going to work out well for the Super Bowl if you don't have a dog in the fight, because you can wear your superb owl hat.
oh,
Yes.
Right.
And Glenn, what you wearing today?
I am wearing Light 'em Up. Nothing says clink more than Light 'em Up. Excuse the cat hair per the usual. Great lid. I knew I had to have this one right off. And it glows too. Super
Ooh.
cool. Super cool neon. Super cool.
I forgot that glows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're at the discotheque with the black light, it really pops.
It really does, yeah.
Where Glenn finds himself more often than not, right?
The only time I'm going to do that is Atlanta. Atlanta has some bowling alleys that after midnight they do like cosmic bowling and like
Yeah, the cosmic bowling.
that's the one chance I'll probably ever get to have those glow in the dark hats really pop. So
Yeah.
I need to go to cosmic bowling just so I can wear the glow in the dark hats. But
Yeah.
and then I'll go next. And so this was one of two Seamus hats that came this week, and this was one that I just was like a little nervous about how it's going to stitch, but it came out good. So I know it's called Tiki, but when I saw it, it actually really made me. It obviously references Tiki, but actually made me think a lot of sort of Maori art. So the native peoples of New Zealand.
Yeah,
they have a style that looks somewhat similar to this this turtle, and I love animals, and I have a whole bunch of Clink hats that are different animals. I love sea creatures, and we'll get to that. But that's also a motif that shows up in Michael's stuff. All right, so now it's your shot. What are you wearing today?
Tidal Roar.
Yes.
I did this one with thought off with Steven. Yeah.
That one's great.
Yep.
We should have Steven on sometime.
I probably wear this one more than I do any of the others that I've made. But
is that right?
Nice.
Yeah. It just
is it the color?
No, it's just I just really like how I don't usually show a lot of action in my designs. I do a lot of fluid, but it doesn't really show the action as well. Flanagan's great at showing action and movement in his hats, but this one really showed it like right at the cresting point of the wave. Yeah.
And it's tough. I mean, in my other hobby in the Lego world, one of my friends made a Lego scene where it's a kid who's about to like snowboard off the roof of a house and the parents are running out and they're like, don't do it. And I said, that's really amazing because Lego is a static object. I mean, you can put motors into Lego, but to show a scene where the brain just imagines a whole scene, that's a talent. And not everybody has that talent. So, all right, let's see if I can figure out how to make the slideshow the main feature and not me. There we go. Look at that. We did it, at least for the moment. So, all right. I titled this one Inside the Skunkworks. And so Seamus's screen name, if you don't follow him on Instagram, you should, is Seamus the Skunk. And we'll get to why that is in just a second. And when I was growing up, I heard of Skunkworks. And so Skunkworks was the facility that invented the SR-71, which when I was a kid was like the coolest aircraft because we didn't have stealth fighters and bombers when I was a kid. So if you're building model airplanes, to me, this was the plastic model airplane that looked the most like a Star Wars ship. So I was a big fan. And so the Skunkworks was the famous place where the Air Force designed and built this thing. But Seamus, tell us about the nickname. Tell us about your book.
So I originally, my artist name was Seamus Aran, and it was kind of an old school throwback to the Metroid character Samus Aran. But my son, it's actually a pretty long story, but that's kind of the whole idea behind the two books that I wrote. The first one was called "I Love Your Stink," and it's Our son is adopted, and we adopted him at birth. And the whole first book goes over our whole story of infertility and trying to have kids, and then finally we got this young boy that was given to us by a family member. And my wife was adopted, and we had actually found her biologic family. And one of her biologic family members found out that she was pregnant at a really rough time in her life, that she wasn't ready to start over, and she already had grown kids. So it was a really big deal to us. But he's also half black, half white, and I wanted to kind of give a nod to that. So my last name is Rappoon, and it's pronounced like raccoon a lot. So I've always had an affinity for raccoons. And it just felt fitting to make the character in the book a skunk. And we named him Seamus. I had the name picked out for years before we had him. And so the character in the book was Seamus the Skunk, and I just wanted to have all of my artwork and all of everything that I've done under one heading. So I dropped the Seamus Aran and just made it Seamus the Skunk going forward. The bit of the title for that first book, I Love Your Stink, I used to tell him when he was little that he was just the stinkiest kid ever. I mean, he smelled like a monkey past his prime. And I used to tell him this all the time while he was, a baby and as he was growing up. And my wife would always immediately pipe up with, "But I love your stink." So that became the title of the first book. Yeah.
That's a really cool story. And,
story.
For me personally, like, I do a hat of the day post, and to me, the connection between art and your memory or your life experience is very powerful. And I have certain hats that remind me of very specific moments in my life or specific locations. And I always love that the artwork on the hat evokes that, emotional or memory response within myself. And so it's cool that your artist name is connected to this whole story of, how you and your wife became a larger family, and you gained a son. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that point of it evoking very specific memories. And Aaron, the Mallard Lake, that was very specific to fishing trips with my dad and male relatives growing up. There's
Nice.
just, it always seemed to be when you were out fishing out on a lake, there always seemed to be that one moment at dusk where the ducks are coming in for the night. That's really what that was. Yep.
That's great. You captured it beautifully.
Thanks.
Well, if you take a look at if you look at Seamus on the Clink Room website, it'll show 42 different hats that are there. And I was chatting with him earlier. I keep because I'm a giant nerd. Jesse and I, we joke about our spreadsheets, and we're academics, so we track data. And I told my students once, I probably shouldn't have said this, but I was like, I use Excel every day of the week, and they probably looked at me like I'm a crazy person, but I do. I use Excel every day of the week. So,
That's why. Yeah, that's definitely.
but I didn't tell them.
I'm pretty sure
You got to track your hats, right? I mean, especially once you get to 4 digits on your hats, you need a spreadsheet. I mean, let's just be honest here. So in my spreadsheet, I have the hats and I have the designers, and I have certain designers that are in my top 5 most owned, and Seamus is certainly in that. And I told him I looked at my top 5 and the percentage of designs owned, and most of the top 5 I own like about a quarter of the Clink hats that they've had, but for Seamus I own 50%. So I'm your number one fan
cool.
on this channel. I'll try not to go all Glenn and Josh Volts on you here. Like everyone know that Glenn has a man crush on Josh's art, and I have a man crush on your art. So I'm
Appreciate that.
Just a big fan. So let's jump in and talk about some of your hats. And so on the left here, I made a little thing, and you won't be able to see the hats, but if any of you are watching this and you want to look on your phone or on your tablet, you can see all of Mike's hats that are there. But one of the things that I wanted to highlight is you do have some motifs. I know you have designs that don't always go to the shop. We'll talk about that in the next slide. But among your hats that have made the shop, we've got a variety of motifs. And so we've got neon, which is a thing that you're particularly good at. Things that have a sheen to them. So like plastic wrappers, gummy bears, water, the surface of water. Remembrance shows up in 3 different hats. And you have at least 2 hats with a llama, and a shirt that I'm wearing right now that has a llama. We'll show that off. And you got your cash cows. And your pandas, you got 2 pandas that I saw, and you have 2 hats that specifically reference states. And so just an eclectic array of stuff. And so one of the things, certain designers, they have their strengths, and they like really, maybe sometimes they really stick to something that they're particularly good at, but you have a breadth. So you're a Clink Renaissance man, I guess. You do a lot of different topics. But and then there's even go ahead.
That's usually just out of necessity.
Okay.
The only thing that I really avoid as much as possible is robotic or vehicles. I hate drawing vehicles in the worst way. So I really like drawing with fluid, with just kind of a natural flow. I think of more of a biologic component to it. If it doesn't have like that biologic component to it, I'm probably not interested.
We're not going to see a bunch of robot hats from Michael.
No.
I remember the rolling with the Nomies incident where your car got redrawn completely.
Yeah.
After all the work you put into it.
I don't remember who pointed out that it looked like a classic Corvette, and it wasn't intentional at all. What I had actually based it off of was my memory from the Ferrari California that Ferris Bueller steals in Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite comedy of all time. I probably once a month repeat lines from that movie at my house. So yes. So does anyone have so we've gone around the room and showed off what we're wearing. Does anyone else have other Seamus hats you want to show to the viewers? All right, we got.
Oh yeah. I knew.
Right, what makes this one so special?
Yeah, I had.
Fantastic.
Yeah, well, obviously it's just good, right? But I had just posted this recently too. I told you guys like at the second it came in, I was looking forward to this one. I just think it's so good. We talked about like the bridge, how it's layered, like the dimension, so it actually is like raised and then flat as it goes further back, which is so smart, obviously, right? And Mike can speak to how he planned on it being embroidered, right? Or if that was just Casey or like a teamwork kind of a thing. I'm super interested, but I'm from California, born and raised. Now I live in NorCal for the last like 13 years. So I took some pictures by the bay or by the Golden Gate the other day because it's only like 20 minutes away. Just took my lunch break, got some cool shots, I think. So yeah, I think this is like just about as much as you can fit onto a canvas of a hat where it's so legible from like far away, right, and close up. The details are just so perfect. It's undisputable what it is. So, and plus like otters, everyone, I do like a little satire. Everyone thinks of river otters as just like so cute and sweet and playful and everything. And this one's just like destroying one of like the most known landmarks in the world. So I just like the juxtaposition too. It just like hits everything for me. Black and just kind of like that light red. It's just like, it's super wearable. So yeah, this was, as I stated on the show, even before I posted it. And yeah, Matthew, I'm not going to like brown nose, but this was my favorite last year. Yeah, just the design too. Like I know you can have Mike. It's all good. But this was my favorite.
We can share. We don't have to rip him apart. We can have a timeshare. We get timeshare.
Yeah.
They don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those shots you took there with the bridge in the background, those were amazing. That was
great, right?
Yeah.
Thanks. I'll send you some from my phone too, so you have a better like image, resolution.
Oh,
too.
cool. Yeah.
Well, I'll go next, and I've got all three of your hats that evoke remembrance, and so you've got the lanterns that float, which is one of these times where I was like, not sure how it's going to embroidery, but I'm ordering it anyway. And when I got it, I was so pleased. It just has that shimmer. You can tell the lights reflecting off of water. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I was a classics major. And so the fact that you did Charon with the crossing the over and the boat looks like it's made of, skeletal remains, and the eyes are creepy. Love this one. And then this one, of course, I mean, I don't remember the exact description, but for me, this is in my annual calendar to wear on Memorial Day. So, I mean, this is how I think of it. Maybe that wasn't your intention, but we've got the sort of kneeling angels with the negative space. But so I just wanted to feature all three of the hats that you've done that evoke a sense of like memory, loss, and that kind of thing. And I don't want to, one of the things about reaching a certain age is that we say goodbye to more people than we like to. And so there are times where I definitely am going to pull these out and wear them where someone passes or, and that's a thing in my life. So I like these. It's probably not something
remembrance.
A 22-year-old's going to buy it.
Remembrance. I remember it was, we went back and forth with Casey a few times. Eric and I did. We were really trying to get the kanji on the front lantern to.
That would look so good.
I had asked for help with from Tim from Gemini Triplets, and he conferred with a friend of his in Japan to make sure that we were what we thought the kanji were saying actually said it. So it was not just the appropriate symbol, but the context for it makes a big difference as well. So we got that all nailed down. They're like, this is exactly how it needs to appear. But once it voted in, and they put up the preview on Thursday of what it was going to be on Friday for the final release, and we saw that it had been removed and they put in some of the sakura blossoms there. I was pretty bent out of shape at first because we had taken so much time to do so, but unfortunately, Casey he said, New Era just won't take the time to verify the accuracy on it, so they'll just blanket decline it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so disappointing.
Yeah, it really is. And then
I will say as a
shortly after,
customer,
they started having some of the Shohei Ohtani hats come out with kanji on it. I was like, well,
right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a very satisfied customer. I know that wasn't your intent, but I think it's beautiful. So.
Yeah. Eric had someone close to him that had passed away, and he wanted to have the remembrance aspect. And at that time, my dad had just been diagnosed with prostate cancer, and we were, devastated, but still hopeful. And unfortunately, he went through all the treatment, and he's cancer free now. But it was not looking good at the time when we were making the hat. So that was a real big one for me.
Aaron and Jesse, you got any more you want to show off?
I mean, I feel like Aaron and I are going to do a thing where we're just swapping them out. I feel like
you're up first.
So?
Then.
You think so? I might surprise you. All
right.
Well, you did. You got me there.
Yeah, this is Afterglow. Oh, I'm sideways and backwards. There we go. So this is Afterglow. This is one of the llama hats, I guess. And I think it's great colors. Turned out really a lot of fun. It's one that I got on dead stock because it didn't appeal to me in the pre-order, and then I saw it and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna need that. That's yeah. So yeah, it turned out really nice. Good girl colors.
We were talking pre-show about hat organization or systems. Once you get a certain number, you need to have something. And in my hat collection, the sports hats are by sports league and stuff like that. So I've got a lot of hockey, a lot of baseball, but I have the hats, especially Clinks and minor league, are organized sometimes by the theme. So I've got water animals, air animals, land animals, pets. But I have a row that's concepts. And so this started off in the llama row, but then it went to the concept row because the alpacalypse is about the end of the world also. So, it's one of these like dual purpose hats. You could wear it as a llama, or you could wear it as the end of the world. So, it gives you, it's a switch hitter, so to speak. So.
It's something you'll need a lot too.
Hey, at the end of the world, I will have the right hat. I'm just saying. So,
yeah.
In the chat, Brandon said, "Screw y'all, Mike's mine."
Which is why I was chuckling when you were talking about the kanji. I thought, oh, he's going to think I'm laughing at him. I was laughing at him.
No. You're all
and for anyone watching, if you don't know, Brandon is my brother-in-law. He's over at least once a week anyway. So,
yeah. All right, Aaron, what you got? I'm assuming you have another hat to show off.
I do. I have actually a couple. So I know that Mike, you had said that you're a little disappointed with the rework on Bomb Cherries, but I'm really, really thrilled with the way this hat turned out because I really like the way that you do neon. I really like the character that you bring to it, and this is, to me, it's an exciting logo. I think it's fun, but I know it wasn't your original attempt, but I do appreciate what you brought to the table, that led to this. But the other one that I really, really enjoy that doesn't get much wear because I'm just not, I can't pull off orange very well, but Rage Runner, I think, is such a cool hat because you got motion on there so well. I mean, it's just, this bird is flying right now. And I mean, not literally, but but I mean, just he's going so fast, and the feed is really just translated so well. And it's definitely one that when I first saw it, I was hesitant because of the orange, but I'm like, man, I can't pass up that logo. That is just too good. So I had to grab that too.
Thanks.
And admittedly, we don't always see speed lines being used. Appropriately is probably too strong, but we don't always see it used tactfully, might I add. I think when you see speed lines used and it really translates, you can appreciate it. Like, oh, that makes sense to my eyes.
Yeah. The trick is getting the speed lines in the design instead of just just tacked on behind it. That seems to make a big difference.
Yep.
But Aaron, I've changed my mind about the cherry bomb. I do like it. I do really like how it turned out. I was pretty butthurt at first that
Sure.
that the bombs themselves weren't still cherries. That was the whole idea at first. But once I got it in hand, I changed my mind. It's a cool looking hat.
It turned out good, and it's bold, and that's what I like about it as well. And I think that, it did come out well. Although, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there supposed to be a glow in the dark element on it as well?
Yeah.
Because mine does not glow.
No? I'm pretty sure when it went, it had glow in the dark in it.
Times. Yeah, I was even testing it right here under my desk with my black light, and I got no glow.
My blanket.
Well, don't wear it to the discotheque.
Yeah, right. It's not going to have the desired effect now. So
that stinks. I thought it was just with as heavy as that white line goes about. I just assumed that it was glow in the dark.
I'd had Clinks for a couple of years, and I mentioned to my husband, I was like, that one's supposed to be glow in the dark, and he goes, "Well, is it?" I was like, "I don't know, I've never tried." So we held it up and turned the light out and shut the door, and he's like, "Yep, it glows." Yeah. And then we turn the light back on, and that's the only reason I know it glows in the dark, because I just don't. I don't go places.
I'm not sure anybody's going to be able to ever appreciate my glow in the dark hats. I'm like, where? I mean, occasionally we walk from the parking lot to the restaurant. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we pass somebody.
Surprisingly, it doesn't take much to charge those up. I mean, I'll walk out to get the mail and have the hat on, come back in, and when I hang it up, it's in a darker room, and then it starts to glow. It's surprising how little it takes.
Speaking of glow in the dark and neon, I can't wait to see how Light the Way turns out.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about that one.
Yep.
I'm super happy about Light the Way. I'm a little mad about what they did to Cosmic Jellyfish, because they took all the planets out. I'm like, well, we'll get to that. Well, it's a slide. It's a slide, but I'm already going to express my inner rage. But lastly, I'm going to show off this one, which Halloween is a big deal at our house. And so this goes into my Halloween collection. Obviously, you can wear it for any time you want to be scary, and imagine that a dire wolf is against the blood moon looking right at you. And it's one of these ones where I was like, I don't know that moon, how's it going to stitch, but it works. It works for me. So the sort of modeled pinks, light and dark pinks, it's intimidating. I think it achieves its purpose in terms of being a little scary, but I love it.
Yeah.
I performed the blanket test, by the way, and there's no glow.
No glow in the dark.
Bummer. That stinks.
So this is where I don't do the Bert thing. I'm not taking my shirt off, but I am going to stand up.
Thank you.
Come on, here we go. So a couple months ago, or before Christmas, I ordered a bunch of shirts off of Seamus's couple of sites, and so this was one that did not go on a hat, but there's enough detail in it. I was like, that would actually look fantastic on a shirt, and so I have this one, and I also have the skunk one that's throwing a stink bomb, and I don't own a single hot pink shirt, so I put it on hot pink, and it looks pretty good. My husband's like, I like that. He likes pink a lot more than I do, and I'm like, you can wear it if you want. So just a second, I'm going to tell us about your t-shirts. I'm going to put them up on the screen here.
So the t-shirts actually kind of took off as just an after effect from making the first book. So the first book, there's a long history behind. I have a neurological disability, and I have a lot of loss of fine motor control in my hands. So when I sit down to draw, it takes me typically 5 to 6 times as long as it does probably anybody else to design, because I have to take breaks or my hands start tweaking out and I can't hold the pen anymore. So when I was starting to do this first book, I did the entire thing in pastel pencils, because it allowed me to draw and then do a lot of the finger blending to kind of flub over a lot of mistakes that just happen with how my hands are. But it was such a nightmare getting those hard copy drawings converted over to a digital file, to compile them all together, and then to get the script over to submit it over to Amazon for publishing. I was like, I'm never doing this again. I never. But then shortly after, I went to go get a new tattoo, and my main tattoo artist is a guy I've known since junior high, just a lifelong friend. And I walked into his shop, and all of his artists were on iPads, and I said, what the hell are they doing? And he had just supplied all of his artists with iPads and Apple Pencils, because they had finally got a printer that allowed them to. It was a Bluetooth printer, and it allowed them to send the stencil that they drew in Procreate over to the printer, and it printed out the stencil they could just pop right on you. It's like, okay, that's cool. How do I do that? And he's like, well, you need to have the iPad and Apple Pencil, and you get this program Procreate. It's really cheap. He's like, I'm not going to teach you how to do it, but you can figure out how to do this with maybe 2 hours of YouTube videos, and then the rest of it is so self-evident. It's very, very user-friendly. I said, well, okay, I got to start figuring this out. And I had just a bunch of ridiculous pop culture mashup ideas that I doodled along the time. The first one I did was a Bob's Burger design that was in kind of a Rick and Morty type of reverse world, where it was almost like Mayor McCheese, a giant burger head that was grilling all of the Belchers on the grill. It never ran anywhere. No one ever picked it up. I guess cannibalism wasn't. It's kind of a hot button. Who knew?
Fresh meat.
Yeah. But it just continued from there while I was trying to work on my disability and keep myself moving and continuing to draw. Just some of the shirt ideas started going, and next thing I knew, I had some 400 shirts made.
400.
Some of them have somewhere around 400 now. I have 600 or so that have actually been designed, but unfortunately, about 200 of them by now have been pulled down just from various. It's not exactly a cease and desist, but it's a DCMA notice for potential IP infringement, and it's just kind of the nature of the beast with dealing with pop culture designs and mashups and parodies. The sites like ePublic and Nito Shop that you found my designs at, Matt, they have kind of blanket cease and desist notices from certain franchises. So if they come up on their annual screening, if it has anything to do with Star Wars whatsoever, it doesn't matter if it actually is impingement, IP infringement or not, it just gets pulled, and that's just all there is to it. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. So there's got to be at least 200 shirts that have just been pulled, and it isn't worth playing around and figuring out how to get it to go on.
What in the Temu Titanic is going on here?
Yeah.
In Lego World, there's an awesome minifig custom out of Chicago, the shop, and they make one run, because by the time the letter gets them that says stop selling it, they're like, oh, we sold them all. Okay, they're gone.
Yeah.
But they have, so they don't call them. So instead of it being Ferris Bueller, it's just called Teenage Car Thieves.
Yeah.
Teenage Car Thieves. That's great.
And my husband's a huge horror fan, so it's not The Shining, it's The Shining.
It's the shitting. What are you trying to do? Get a suit?
Right? That's funny.
So got to say one step ahead of the IP police, right?
Yeah. So it just I don't think I ever would have got into hats if it hadn't been for another shirt designer. Aaron, do you remember the Yeti University hat?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think you're the only one that's been around longer than I have, and so that was about 6 months prior to me starting to design the hat, and that was from Wheels 03, and that hat was actually a Star Wars T-shirt that he had done. That was one of the Wampas.
It looks like a tauntaun, right? Oh, it's a Wampa.
It's a Wampa. It's the Ice Beast. Yeah. In fact, when he submitted it first, it was Wampa U, but they changed the name right before it went to Crits.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So they took the W off the college cap and put it through. So I was already a fan of their art, especially their shirts. So I hit him up and said, I'd like to try my hand at doing a hat. What's involved with it? And he's like, I have no idea. He's like, it took forever to get this thing seen and then voted on, and he's like, just start submitting stuff, and eventually they'll look at it. All right, and that's just kind of how it went.
So I mentioned this to Glenn in the pre-show, but I think you and I maybe were chatting, and you said just how long it took for you to actually get one to the shop. Can you tell our viewers how long that was?
That first one was called Yo Llama So Ugly. And Aaron, I think we had that conversation where it's based off of Spike Lee from the late 80s, early 90s commercials. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I had been submitting designs for a full year before my first one made it to Crits.
I feel like I remember that. What year was that?
20. It had been 23 or 22. I think I started submitting in 22, and then it was 23.
It was 23.
Yeah.
So the reason that I mentioned that is our fellow panelist here, Glenn, is working on hats, working with some designers, and he was a little discouraged. And I said, Michael did work for a year, so just keep that in mind. Sometimes you got to you got to crawl before you can run. So, just, Rome wasn't built in a day for some of these folks. So.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump in and look.
It is a lot of trial and error.
I remember you having to resubmit a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's jump in and look at some of the stuff. And just for all the panelists, we have 15 of the 20 hats to discuss. So try to be concise. I have everyone. I tried to tag everyone who nominated one for discussion. And we're already at 45 minutes. And I am having a great time. I'm fine with a 3-hour show personally. But some of you might want to, do other things. It's up to you. I think Adam has I have
pages of notes. Yeah.
Adam has an expiration date.
Pages of notes.
No, I have a 2-year-old, so I think, and it's bath night. Mondays are bath night, and it's Daddy's bath night. So,
yeah.
You have to stay at least through slide 7, okay?
Oh no, we're good. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So we'll start off. We've been, given some Seamus love here on the show, but this is Voltz's moment. So I'll just throw it to Glenn first. So #1 fan, take it away, Glenn. Tell us about what you love about these designs.
I loved all 3 of his this week.
What?
Hard to believe, I know. Especially like hats like these where it's like you can see him as a creature feature. I definitely was glad that he stuck with the squid and whale design and that he gave it another shot. I like it even better now. It's improved. I like how he kept the ink, but he took it off the whale. So it doesn't like, you can actually see 100% of the whale now, and you can still see some of the ink too. And then the gator one, I really liked that one, because that one it's almost like it's a VHS horror gator creature feature cover off of a, like, I can see that, like, as a kid in the horror section, like looking at all the box arts and everything.
Like
Hi.
Lake Placid, isn't it?
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elle, can you believe Matthew wants to go 3 hours? Can you believe that? Does he know?
He's like, does she hate baths or like baths? She might prefer.
No,
them.
she loves them.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
Sorry.
You say hi? Nice, hi, good job.
Oh.
So, Glenn, let
Adam,
me
you
ask
wanna-
you. Let me ask you about your squid and your ink and stuff. So, how do you envision that embroidered? Are you envisioning like the outline heavily stitched and then just the negative space black as ink, or like what? Talk to me about that.
I'm not sure. I'll
I
be as
just-
surprised. I'll be as surprised as you are.
Well, maybe like someone who picked that, Mike, Jesse, Matt. Maybe you can tell me what you had in mind. Not like a trick question. Just I'm curious, right? Black on black. Obviously, I see the gray outline.
Oh, I'm
so
sure there's gonna be
it's cool to think about like
to
what you have
it.
pictured for that.
Because like there's lots of examples where you've got color on color, same color, but they do that dimensionality and it'll show up. So hopefully it will.
In this instance, I'm actually expecting them to add a red outline to the entire thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Michael's had a lot of designs change, so he should know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think back to crap. I can't remember the name of it. The spot one, the snow leopard that
Yep.
Yeah, that Leaf did. Yeah. And they even had to change the threads on that because originally it had matched the snow gray crown, and all you could see were the spots.
Mm.
Yeah.
I have that one too.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Any other comments? We'll go to there's still more of Josh. Oh, and Glenn, do you want to reveal some information about this design?
We'll like I said, we'll definitely all see how it stitches because it's in the queue.
Yay.
Yay.
And the vaults theme continues to the next slide. Aaron and Glenn both picked this one.
We skipped one.
Did I?
Skipped one. What do you mean?
Yeah.
They're both vaultses.
Well, yeah. So, I'll just go quick.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
Go for it.
It's all good. Yeah. So the crocodile and the plover on the right. So, the zoo that I worked at and where I got my college degree, we had a plover named Chick. So I always was fascinated by in the wild, like these animals that have symbiotic relationships. I always, because I mean, in my mind, like think about that first bird that had to like try this out, right? Like the fortitude, the intestinal fortitude on that little bird to just be like, you know what? That's a carnivore, by the way.
Right.
To just be like, this seems like an easy. Help me help you, right? I think that's freaking awesome. I think that this fits the hat like perfect. That space, it's super fun, and he took kind of like his monster, like you say, Glenn, creature feature style. But in a way, I think for him, I would consider for Vols, this is like cute in my mind, in a good way.
Yeah,
it's fun. So
I
like it a lot.
I really hope that the bird has a 3-dimension. It stands higher than the rest of the figure because it would give it that like it's resting on the jawline. That would be awesome.
Well, we'll find out Friday how it looks.
Mm.
Did your plover? Did you have any crocodiles or alligators for your plover at the zoo?
No, we had an alligator named Happy. Corny, I know, but they didn't commingle. Yeah, that was just like when the public would come, that would be one of our fun facts, right? And we had a picture of it in the front of the exhibit, so it was just kind of a cool. I always respected the hell out of that bird, right? So
You could see, as you said, the first bird. You could understand how that bird might like be a little twitchy and have anxiety, like wants to get the meat quick
dude,
before the jaw shut.
crazy. Yeah.
All right, we got the other vaults, Death's Head, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Aaron and Glenn picked this one.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I can't really put a finger on what it is about it that I like, other than I just like this shape is appealing to me, and I just like the little details in it. It gives me kind of almost like it's got a bit of a monster vibe to it, you know, and I think that's kind of fun. I think that it really could look really cool, especially if the colorway holds. So I'm really hoping that I don't have to write another furious letter on Friday if it makes it through.
Bring out the pitchforks. Bring out the pitchforks.
Right, but no, there's just something about it that just evokes memories of, you know, watching monster movies, you know, even though I know that's not the motif, and I didn't go and look what the motivation was behind it from Josh, but it evokes a monster feel to me that I really like.
That's a good point. It actually almost looks like it's modeled off the modern Mothra from the newer Godzilla movies.
Yeah, I think it's really neat.
And
what's your thought, Glenn?
For me, I like how he took a popular concept, some may say an overused concept of a Reaper, and put a twist on it that, I mean, at least I haven't seen. I don't know if anybody else has done it, but I don't recall seeing it. A Reaper done as a moth or something like that. So I'm always all about like concepts that have been taken to places we haven't seen before. I think that's a really cool thing. Anytime somebody does that, I'm usually all in on something like that, and this one's no exception for me. And like Mike said, it does kind of have a Mothra feel to it, and I would love Godzilla and kaiju and that whole genre. So for me, it's got like multiple facets to it that I'm just drawn to.
Yeah, as Brandon in the comments pointed out, it has a Japanese vibe to it as well, you know, and of course that's something that's always big for me. That's an automatic draw for me. So I'm sure that's a play on it mentally for me as well. But Glenn, to your point, when I look at it, even though you can see, you know, the weapon there, I don't even read Reaper first, you know, which I think is one of the reasons that I liked it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because like the rest of us, you know, I do have Reaper fatigue. And so, you know, for me to not immediately just dismiss it because it has a Reaper aspect to it is a good sign.
All right. Well, Earth sucks. I messaged Neil and I said, this may be the perfect Monday for your hat to come up for a vote after the last week in the United States. Probably there might be some people who vibe with that title. Super happy. This is going to pair beautifully with Ray Gun throwback. So every single one of us on the panel selected this. So it's 6 for 6, baby. So Neil, I know you're probably asleep in the UK right now, but if you watch this tomorrow, we all loved it. So good job.
Yep, no doubt. Everybody.
Any comments?
I don't know about that visor though. That visor color, man. That's my only. You like that?
I actually dig that color combo. It's very
it looks
retro.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it looks.
It's very
mid-mod. It looks good. I just have an aversion to brim colors that light because it's just a dirt magnet. You know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I grab my hat too much. So that's, you know, but it's gorgeous. Yeah, and you know, and Mike, you had something in comments about it that that it's important for people to try to envision this design in their head as what it'll look like with raised embroidery, because I think the embroidery on this, I totally agree with you. It's going to look phenomenal because there's so many wide spaces to embroider that it with the right level of the puff foam, it's gonna look awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Brandon said, "Don't worry, you know damn well they're going to change the colorway."
Yeah, maybe. Well, yeah, I'm with like Matthew. You kind of alluded to this. What I see when I look at this is ray gun, the same type and feel and everything. And I've said this before. It's not like some crazy opinion, but ray gun is like that hat for me, where you can't possibly like get it until you have it in hand. Right. That was my first one. That was just kind of like, whoa, like all the different layers and colors and just the way that it's done. It's seemingly so simplistic. Oh yeah, look at that in a case too. In the case,
Hat museum.
Nice
Hat museum.
Yeah, so
you can get 3 of these on Temu for a very nice price. I'm just gonna say. So I don't get in
the hat or the case.
Not the hat, but the case.
Oh, I was like, Jesus, Matthew, I'm standing right here.
You have to know Adam if you want to get the hat, but if you want the case,
oh my gosh,
anybody can get the case off of Temu. So thank you again.
Yeah, so you're welcome, man. So yeah, I think that's a great point. Mike brings it up. I know we talked about this on the show before, but it can be hard because I think, I don't know how everyone thinks about it, but for me, we are enthusiasts and we're such like a small subset of people that buy and vote, mainly who vote, right? So it can be really frustrating and hard when we see something like this. And obviously we all picked it. So we can universally see it and appreciate it and agree it's going to come out so good, right? But it's really frustrating, or can be frustrating when the general population sees this and just downvotes it because it looks too simplistic or something. But when we can really envision it, we want to give it a shot. So I'm super happy. And Neil's stuff is sometimes like that. So good for him for like keeping at it and stuff, right? And like this is such a sick hat. No question, I'll be ordering it. I would like to keep the color palette the same, so I like it as is. But I'll probably order it honestly if they change the colors too, unless it's not super funky.
There was numerous 14.8 hats and Seamus hats as well. Numerous that didn't vote well, and I was just dejected because it was like I wanted that hat so bad.
No, it's very mid-modern. If this was something that was being made in the 1950s, this is the colorway that it would actually go with. This is exactly how the graphics. It's not pastel, it's not faded, but it has that kind of aged look to it.
There you go.
I get not wanting to have a lighter brim, but this is exactly how the colors that should be used in the design, at least.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
No, I'm with you.
I'm hoping that the rocket ship is one of those things that's embroideries where it's like 1/8 thick against the brim. Like I could just see this like physically just standing out
as being huge. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Anybody else?
So do you know that it made?
Oh yeah, he did get a contract for it.
Yay.
Oh cool.
It'll be in
Very
the shop.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was my number one choice for the week, so I'm a happy man.
He texted me back right before the show started.
Oh,
right on.
I feel like we buried the lead on that one.
It was off to a strong vote this morning. It was at 46%. It dropped down to 39.
Yeah.
Usually, if you're at that 39, 40, most of the time. Seems like you go to the shop, but I'm so happy. He was very discouraged after the last vote, and I was messaging on Instagram with him, and I was like, please don't give up. Please submit it again. Make some tweaks. You weren't that far off, and sometimes Seamus in particular, I've cited Seamus, I was like, Seamus he doesn't just give up. I mean, sometimes it's the third charm, and he's dogged about it. And, sometimes honestly, like the one that we'll get to a little bit later, but the cosmic jellyfish, I actually like the second version better than the shop version, but you know what? It went to the shop. So sometimes you got to keep at it. So we good to next one?
Yeah.
Next.
I already made Adam mad because I went too fast. Jesse, you're
I
up.
like bunnies. I'm gonna say yes to a bunny as well. So not a scary bunny. Like there have been a few where it's like that's a terrifying bunny, and yeah, it's cute. Um, I'm always gonna go for that. And then yeah, the lobster. Oh my God, this is hilarious. It's amazing. I don't love the brim or the visor, but like the logo is very funny. It's very clever.
That was going to be my
Yeah.
question for you. Like, you like it as is?
We get what we get. I don't love it.
Not all the time.
Yeah, Jesse, you
I
know
don't
someone
have-
on the panel that can go to bat to change the color of something.
Yeah.
I don't have his clout.
Hat influencers. We know hat influencers.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen like
Yeah.
that style, like that fabrication on a lot of like Major League, NBA hats. I'm like, you know what? Taste is variable,
Yeah.
and I'm so glad these other folks are loving those.
I have to say that I wonder if the actual hat in hand would look better than what that mock-up looks like. Like, I just don't know.
Very
I have
likely.
been
Yeah. I would assume that denim one would probably be a lot darker.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they're trying new things with the brims and putting some different textures and stuff in. So I'm generally in favor of that. And I would have, if this had gone to the shop, I would have pre-ordered it, just taking a chance that the denim would look better than it looks in the mock-up.
Yeah, but the logo's fantastic. I do get a kick out of that. That's really great.
I'll say I voted for it, but I would never buy that. I absolutely despise the denim on the hats. I just want to complete, the Canadian
Somebody
tuxedo.
likes it, but,
I just hate that. Yeah, some people like it. It's just, man, that is one of the things that it turns me off right away.
Mike's like, "Here you go home."
Yeah. So
we got the headband, the denim.
I don't usually try to bother with putting in feedback on any of the ones, any of the designs with that Heather's involved with. I just have decided to let it go after the last couple of years. But just in general, I would say that it's too tall, and it's a very vertical design. So if it was to get made as is, they would have to shrink it to get the ears down far enough on the crown so that it isn't bending around the back. So it would be a pretty small logo once it was shrunk down to size. The lobster roll, the one thing that I really appreciate that Sierra did here around the same time that he made that one, I don't remember who did it first, or it doesn't really matter. Stephen and I did a surf rock that we had a surfing crab that was playing guitar as well. That is just a beast to get claws to actually look like it's playing the guitar. I had to go through probably 5 or 6 different revisions on it, and he did a really great job with that.
Definitely.
And that's something as a buyer I would probably not think about, other than I would say, well, that looks funny, but I wouldn't know how to put my finger on what looked funny about it. So
or your claw.
It does have a minor league logo look for sure.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Most definitely.
I absolutely adore the Jersey Blue Crab minor league baseball team. I have several versions of their hats. I think they're just, they're just fantastic.
They got some good stuff.
Yep.
All right. Let's see.
That's another one that was created by Jason B, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
Blue Claws? Really?
Blue Claws,
yeah.
No. Very nice.
Yeah, that's a swatch I wouldn't mind getting. Hint, hint, hint. All right, Aaron, Glenn, Mike, you guys pick the first one here on the left.
Let the guests go first.
All right, Mike.
Yeah.
I really love the colorway on this, and tan is that's a hard sell to the voters. Just as a general rule of thumb, but it's the perfect platform for this one to give it that aged tea stained paper look, like it's on an ancient paper scroll. Great colorway for it. The only concern that I have really at all are the fine details on the inside of the mask. It's on the inside of the helmet. But they'll simplify those. That's really not that big a deal.
Sure.
If they left it as it was, it would get muddied. But I'm sure they would simplify that.
And for me, it just it satisfies that Japanese motif that I'm always interested in. It's clearly got that Asian influence, and I think it'll look really, really cool. I'm hopeful for the crown and brim color to not be too light, because one thing found over time is that the mock-ups always appear almost a shade or two, darker than they really will appear when you get them in hand. So I anticipate that's going to be pretty light, as far as the material color is concerned. So we'll see how we're not going to see, because it probably didn't make it. So it's 39%. So I don't know, if anybody talked to Flanagan, but I really like it. I hope he, if it didn't make it, I hope he sticks with it and tries to tweak it a little bit to see if we can get it in, because I really do like that a lot.
Yep.
I'm not even into Japanese designs, and I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
The like Mike said, the colorway is awesome. The colors in the design itself, it's just a beautiful design, top to bottom, all aspects.
All right, and then we've got I've covered up the title, so no, I don't remember, but it's the Tekuanes, the sort of tiger masks. Aaron?
Tekuanes y Diablito. And I really like this one a lot. I think that mask designs always translate really well to embroidery. I think they just sit well, on a hat. And I think that just the design shape here looks really appealing. And I have another hat that Chamuco did, with that same logo on it, and I know it looks really, really cool, when it's embroidered. So I would fully expect that this would look fantastic, embroidered. So it's a shame that it didn't do better. But sometimes it's just like we said, we're aficionados. We have specific tastes that not everybody does have, and it's some of these good ones, unfortunately fly under the radar and don't make it.
Are you talking about the yellow one? The yellow one that was the Hat Club?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have it in both the yellow and the blue. I loved it.
Yes.
Absolutely loved it.
Same here.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic. Beautiful colors.
I am curious if anyone else is. I wonder if it's not so much that the clientele base is kind of tired of the Mesoamerican Aztec type of designs, but if they're a little gun shy after how long some of the other ones got tied up in legal before.
Sure. That could be.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm wondering if that has anything to do with the voting.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely could be, for me, and again, though, I'm speaking from a different level of experience. I've waited a year and a half for a hat to come through, and worth it. But some people, can barely wait the 6 months, for a hat to arrive. So, if it gets tangled up, then you're right. Yeah, it's gonna be tangled up for a while.
I would add to that point too, devil's advocate. We see like a pretty high success rate with Native American designs, at least, and for sure in voting too, right? And we kind of sign up knowing that it may or may not come to fruition or take a long time, right, Glenn? So, yeah, I think if it were just me, I think it is the fact that Mesoamerican is so particular and specific. And I mean, we do have a lot. I think we have a lot of them. Maybe some people would disagree, but I think there's a good amount. I think this one is strictly specific to design, but I kind of think about like what you're saying too. But I think in that And then I'm thinking about that emoji, that eggplant and peach emoji that voted super well and got in and was
Right.
ripped
See,
the next
yes,
week,
thank
right?
you.
So
That's
I
exactly.
personally don't think if we as clinkers think like, this might not make it. No, I think we're like slamming that, like, yeah, I take it. Yeah, I take it. Come on, get this thing in.
And as someone who's
I
cataloged,
called that one immediately. That eggplant
I
one
mean,
wasn't going through.
yeah, come on. Like, color me shocked the
Yeah.
second, the email. I'm like,
Yeah.
duh, come on, dude. Are we
Yeah,
serious?
Yeah, that was the least surprising one that didn't make it.
You got to be kidding me. A dick and ass, like, that wasn't going in. Come on, dude. I was shocked I went to the shop.
There's a
Right.
lady here.
Yeah, right.
You've never seen an eggplant emoji before?
Yeah.
As someone who's cataloged in a spreadsheet all 2,000 plus Clink designs, there's a lot of Mesoamerica. It is not underrepresented at all.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Especially when Siak was a regular submitter.
Yeah, right.
Now that he's doing New Era Mexico, he's not submitting, but especially when Siak was active, almost every week.
Yeah,
there was a
Siak and Sierra Gons, both submitted lots of Meso hats. Yeah.
All right. So normally in the show, we like to keep it fun. But the next slide is a little bit serious. And so in particular, this is for one of our members and next slide, who suffered a loss. And so I want to take a moment to say, we know how much, we know how much animals mean to us. And so Adam, just want to say we feel for you. And you had an animal companion for so long. I also had a little bit of a loss. So on the lower right, one of my closest friends, Gigi passed away on Sunday morning. Sorry. But we're not dog dads, but we were the stepdads. So we got to take care of Gigi when they went out of town. And so Gigi in particular was very, very helpful to my husband when he was recovering from his surgery. And they came down and just spent some time with us, and the two of them really bonded. So, sorry, because the next hat has a dog on it. So we'll move forward here. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
But I just want you to know that we know how much animals mean to your life, and I don't know. It seemed wrong for me that we wouldn't note this. So we'll let Jesse talk. How about that? Jesse, tell us about the cat here.
Yeah. Well, so
did the cat get no votes?
Oh God.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The cat got no votes. Oh my God.
Thank you, Aaron, for that. No, so the local minor league ball team is Ridge Cats, Hill Cats, and there's debate as to whether or not it's a cougar versus a bobcat, but this would go very well to the park, and definitely it would catch some attention.
You good? Yep. Okay.
All right.
Hi, El. All right. Well, I guess I'll talk about a dog hat.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was obviously really sweet. Thank you. Hi, El. I know it's cute, right? Yeah, I think as y'all know, I'm a dog person for sure. Worked with them, have them, and everything. And I think that this one, I've lost them before, but as I stated in my post, Wallace was kind of the one that I had all my major kind of like monumental life things and stuff. They put a post up of Wallace sprung on me. I know. So yeah, I won't start into that either, but let's talk about this other dog with hearts and everything and stuff that's very cute. Hi, El. Yeah, so I don't have an Australian Shepherd or anything, no ties to him, but I'll always be a sucker for. Oh, you think it's funny? Which, the bobcat or the dog? She likes dogs too. So yeah, I think it's sweet. It's fun. It's a breed that we don't have yet in the Clink catalog and everything. So Rory's is a cool artist and everything. I think it's dope. What I will say I can offer to this specific one as opposed to the last, I hope it got in, of course, but I like that the first version, the hearts were like pink, kind of Valentine's Day vibes and stuff. That's cool and cute, but honestly, that probably could have detracted some. I love that the colors are, apropos to the dog on this one. And I think the colorway is super clean, like all together. That like canyon or dark tan or whatever it is with white, black as it is on the dog. I think it's great. Just like that simple change to me makes it read much more clean. The under, we don't see that color very much, so I think it's good as is. I would love this hat as is, and my cousin has this exact dog in that exact color, so I showed him this, and one of the rare times my family member cares about a Clink, screenshot I send them or something. He was like, "I'm all in. Give me like 5." So, it's super dope, and obviously, in a sentimental way too. Like I appreciate you putting that up there and stuff. We spend a lot of time talking and stuff on the internet about hats and stuff, but obviously we connect on real life stuff too, not just politics and monetary things too. So it is appreciated. It is sweet. Thank you.
Jesse, I did screenshot it. The cat hat got 19%. I just missed it when I was putting in the numbers. So
good thing I have like 17 hats for the minor league.
And your local team, the Hillcats, have some great hats. We just were chatting this week, and I had a couple I had never seen, and I shared the photos, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's a Hillcats hat." And we got those. All right. We'll jump back. I jumped over some slides. So Aaron, Adam, and Glenn all picked out the Flanagan Kong. So what appealed about this Kong to y'all?
For me, I think it was that this is probably one of Flanagan's designs that I've followed the closest. Excuse me. And mostly it's because he's been really good about, reposting and just showing the changes. And he posted a really cool time lapse that showed his development, as well as the model that he was utilizing as well for the drawing. And I just thought the changes that he arrived at really made a big difference. And I like what he's getting after, because not only does the drawing turn out well for the gorilla, but pencils, are rendered in such a way that they give that more real life feel, which is what I believe he was after. And I really like the way it turned out. And, I'm bummed, that it's a short vote again, so I don't know what else it's going to take other than maybe a colorway change. Maybe the pink is, hitting some people the wrong way. I don't know why. I think it would look pretty damn good, but nonetheless, it's definitely something that I really liked and would have liked to have seen. I would have bought that for sure.
Well, you'll be very happy to see it Friday then.
Yay! All right. It's going to be a different color, huh?
I hope not. I hope not. I hope it's the graphite. Yeah, I hope it's the graphite and the eraser pink under visor and button. I hope it is.
Yeah, for sure.
I really liked this one too. I'm glad he stuck with it. He actually went to Casey and asked him for some advice on it, and took Casey's advice. Made it better. I didn't even think he could make it better, but he made it even better, which is impressive in itself, in my opinion. I think Matt, you asked what do we feel was the appeal for this one, and for me, it's like it's more of a real. Oh, sorry, there's Charlie. It's more of a real like gorilla, instead of like a logo. It's almost like he made a picture of a real gorilla, like fierce, like you can see him just screaming. And the pencils look like like real pencils, and it's an awesome take on a company's logo but he at the same time he made it completely different. It's the same but completely different. So that's what I think is cool about it. Same kind of a similar thing I said earlier with, taking a concept and doing it a way we hadn't seen before, like the Reaper with Josh's Death's Head moth. That kind of the same feel for me for this design.
Yeah, I think echo a lot of what Glenn said. We talked about this one a little bit in the chat, but yeah, same thing. It's a different take on this their prominent logo, in that it appears to be like more realistic and such, as like an animal dude. And I spent some time doing an internship at the LA Zoo with the gorillas, so I have a particular affinity as well for gorillas and stuff. I think they're like absolutely awesome. I love that it incorporates the back hits with the dueling pencils. It's something we all as clinkers have come to know and really like, and kind of expresses a little bit of artistry and whatnot. And who know? I mean, obviously, my guess is as good as y'all's in terms of color change. I'll be the only one to say. I actually am going to go on a limb. I think that this stays pretty close. I'll say it. I think that because this is sensible too to the design with the erasers, right? The graphite going off of the gorilla's skin tone and stuff. And I will add, I don't know if y'all saw it, but when this was posted in the group, Taylor Dome Pieces weighed in and was like, this version, no other, slaps, fucks, whatever he said, this is it. So like in my mind, I'm like, okay. Right. And then now Taylor's at he's there every day now. So like maybe there's a little bit more kind of back and forth or a little bit with that. So I'll be the one. Right. I might be wrong, but if I had to put money on one staying pretty close to what we see now, I would put my money on this one.
I really think they're going to keep the graphite. I think they were shying away from graphite for a while for the crown color, but once they saw how hard that matriarch, the MMIW version, when that came out with the black brim with the graphite, once they saw how hard that one was, and it does contrast well still with black. The black does not fade into it.
No, not at
once
all.
They saw that, I think we'll see the graphite more often.
Good.
And then, Mike, you picked the Kong on the right.
Yeah, I am usually not a big fan of when artists create kind of their own character and then just continue to use that same character again and again and again. What I really like that Rob did with this one is he's not just using the same character and the same model again. He's completely redone it. And I didn't expect to like the first what did they call it? Painter Kong, I think was his first one.
It was that I did not expect to like one, right?
Yeah. Whereas using the roller for the paint on there, I didn't expect to like that one at first. I really did like how that one turned out. So, I appreciate that he's created this kind of graffiti artist Kong and is able to continue to use it, but in a new way.
Right.
Yeah, I bought the Painter Kong from another collector who had it for sale, and I'm very happy with it. It's a nice hat.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. Yeah. But I do like what you're hitting on there, Mike, is that we're seeing an evolution of the character and seeing it in a different style, which makes it really cool. Yeah, I agree. I agree there.
And I don't know if any of you guys or everybody follows Rob Smid on Instagram, but a lot of times he goes live and you can kind of see him drawing these designs before they hit crits. You can see him like working out little fine details and see him like live drawing the stuff on his iPad. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. All right, we're ready. Next slide. All right, Aaron. Aaron, you picked Take Me Out, or not Take Me Out the Ballgame.
I did not.
I forget what it's called. Old School.
Either one of these. Yeah, I didn't pick either one of these.
I actually picked the Nice Day for sports. So I actually So I commented on the post, the actual post from Clink, and the artist responded and was very receptive to the feedback I gave earlier, and they actually corrected me on one point. I didn't realize that the use of Tilly, the original character that the New Yorker magazine had based their logo on. I didn't realize that had become public domain, so it shouldn't be an issue then. The only thing that they have to worry about is the B, which if you look at it really close, all they did was take the Birmingham Barons B, cut off that top loop, and then mirror it back up. It's the same logo. So
Maybe
that
it should be a C. Should it be a C?
I don't remember what the story was for his hometown. So it meant something to the artist, but I don't know that it necessarily even needs to have a letter there in the overall art. The only thing that has got to change is the bat. There's no way that embroiders with how close the wood grain is. And then our show is running a little longer than I had anticipated, but back in the day when I did the Monday evening crits with Eric and Creature, I had kind of a little 5-minute segment that I would do explaining kind of the real basic things that I had to learn the hard way that would really help out new artists. So I was going to point it out here. So for any new artists that are trying to go here, or if you're having trouble getting things to get 2 crits, a couple of quick tips that I have for you that will really help, that I wish I had known when I had started. One, don't start your canvas as large as you can. You want to set your canvas to a 4-inch by 3-inch. That's as big. That's honestly too big to actually go on the hat. So they would actually shrink it a little bit. So realistically, you want it like 3.75 inches by 3 inches. But that way, you know, as you're drawing it, how thick that line is. That's exactly how thick that line is going to be when it comes out on the hat. And that is where a lot of new artists have a hard time with, is not really being able to see, well, it looks this big when I zoom in, but you know, when I shrink it down to get onto the hat, well, if you don't have to shrink it, then you're good. The other part to that is it's very hard to learn your line weight. How big of a line do you have to have for it to be considered embroiderable, if that's a word? I only know from my experience, because I use Procreate. I know these settings are a little different for Photoshop or some of the other programs people use, but my best tip is to take an existing logo, and really any of them will work from the gallery on Think Room, but the one that I personally started using was the first Catacombs that Casey did. But then that's actually how I figured out how thick these lines have to be for the bones. Was I took a screenshot of it, put it on the canvas exactly how big it did, and I wasn't tracing the design or anything, but I was using the existing lines that I knew this is how thick it was. It worked this time, so if I continue to make those lines exactly the same, this thickness is going to work every time. So I certainly don't have any problem with anyone taking a screenshot of this and putting it on there and just drawing over it until you get to that same thickness, and you know that's how low you can go. So for example, in Procreate, if you use a round brush from just their basic generic, their basic toolkit that has the paintbrushes. If you use a round brush, the minimum you can go to is a size 3. Any lower than that, it's too fine. I usually do most of my line work with the inking set, and I use the Studio Pen brush, and that one, I set that to 11. I never go any lower than that, and I know that it's not too small to come out on a hat.
Thank you for that
Excellent
piece of advice.
Yeah.
If Michael, if you need to, step out, that's at some point, that's perfectly understandable. We know bath time is going to come and take Adam at some point. So we just love talking about hats on this. So sometimes we run long. We're having a good time with you. So.
No problem at all. I didn't want to take up too much time for anyone for that little bit there. But, it's been a while since I've mentioned it to anyone, so I thought it would be helpful. We have so many new artists right now that are the language is just way too thin.
When Glenn here is work with the drawers on a couple of things, as you have collaborated with some other folks from the artist side, if you are involved in a collaboration, what kinds of things are helpful to you as the artist person in the collaboration to hear from the ideas conceptual person? Do you want something that's very specific from your concept person, or do you want just like a general idea or a sense of, like a joke or something?
I've actually worked with a couple of different artists, so I have kind of the insight from both being the artist and also trying to get the advice, trying to get my point across to them to say, this is what I want it to look like, but it's not set in stone. If someone approaches me with the design, if you have just a name for something, you got to give me something else. Just a name for something that you got to flesh out the idea some. But for me, once you've given me that general idea, what is it that I want to actually do with this? I'd rather just be left alone, to be honest. Just let me do my thing. I'll send you kind of the screenshots of what I've done so far. Do you like how it's going? If not, then I try not to go too far into it where I can't go back and start making adjustments from there. But I know some other artists prefer it to be much more involved, where you need a lot of direction going into it. It's just kind of up to the artist at that point.
That's cool. We've had Lane on, and Lane has been very successful in working with artists. Lane's had a ton of hats go to the shop and worked with a whole gamut of artists. And he talked to us about, with his Big Five, working with 6 different Clink artists and them communicating with each other, trying to get some cohesion across their designs. And it's really interesting to hear his perspective as somebody who's the sort of the idea concept in a partnership. So thanks for sharing, from the drawer side and from the idea, being on both sides of that fence. So
sure.
Cool.
Most people are impatient, man. Like, the way I look at it is like time is such a precious commodity to all of us, right? So I think of it as just like a huge win. If the person I reach out to is even mildly interested, I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. I'm like, maybe we can work something from there. So just to give you a tangible example, since Mike's right here, I had hit him up in October about something that I was pretty stoked on, pretty pumped on, and he was very receptive. And to his point, I just was like, cool, I'll hear from you when I hear from you. And we talked today. And so, that's cool with me. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get it. It's, I know, just off the top of my head, Heinz had hit me up for a number of ideas early last year. And I generally around this time of year, I don't know why it always seems to happen right around the end of the year, the beginning of the year, but I get kind of, I don't know if it's just the winter blues or what, but I get into a phase where I'm not ready to take on any new projects, and it's just leave me alone for a little while. And he didn't want to wait. The idea was, it's like me with money. If I got money in my pocket, it's just burning a hole in me. And it's kind of the same thing. He's got this idea and he really wants to get it out. Totally fine. If you want to go and shop it to another artist and see if they can come up with their idea, I totally get that. But on that kind of flip side, the one thing that we never really seem to talk about is the artists. We work for free. I mean, we work for free for 90% of the time. I mean, I ran the numbers last year based on all the designs that I actually submitted. Just the ones that actually made it to crits, not even all the ones that I designed that never got looked at. I only had like something like 10%. It ended up being like 11.7%, whatever. That actually made it to the shop. So that means almost 90% of all the work that I did was completely for free.
Wow.
You know, and then
Tough.
you know, Matt, you and I have talked about this on the back end. Is, you know, Clink has changed their policy on how they pay out, and it, again, it's very understandable when you understand the reason behind it. But it used to be, you know, the design would hit the shop, it would be there for pre-order for a month, closed on Sunday, and on Friday you got paid. Now, they send you the numbers that Friday of how many actually sold, but you don't get paid until they get legal approval for the design. So most of the time it's not a big deal, month and a half, maybe 2 months. Classic Drip, you know, closed in June or July. We still haven't been paid for that.
Wow.
It was, yeah, it was originally scheduled to arrive in January. They clearly haven't received approval for it. So, you know, and there isn't any reason that Think doesn't know why. You know, it's still in New Era's hands to give it approval for it. So I'm sure it has something to do with it. You know, being a gun, even though it can clearly see that it's a, you know, it's a toy and it's a squirt gun.
Silly. Right.
But still, you know, so for anyone that's you know, an idea and the concept folks, I would just say, remember, you have to be patient with the artists because they really are doing everything for free until, you know.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's been a shift? I mean, so you've been on the creative side, you know, the Clink started up during COVID, so 2020. And my impression, because I wasn't even on the site until about late 2021, and then I didn't order a hat until 2022. My impression was that in the early days, it was a pretty small group of artists. Now, that's my impression. I could be wrong about that. And it seems like, you know, some of the people like Siak have gotten jobs. So they're now, you know, he's hired by New Era. And I believe Aurelian does a lot of work for Noble North. So some of these people have moved on to make hopefully more lucrative. Maybe they're getting compensated, but do you get the impression that there are more artists submitting? I mean, certainly they bumped the crits up. It used to be a smaller number of designs, and now it's 20 per week. And that's a lot of competition. Yeah. And there have been weeks where I thought, and I'll name one, 14.8. I thought a couple times he had a really good design, but he was in a very competitive week, and he just didn't get voted in. And I told him, I said, look, it was a tough week. I'm like, I think you submitted something really good. And I think if you'd been in 2 weeks ago, it might have gone to the shop. And that's a tough to hear, I think, as an artist. But you feel that the competition is better, worse, the same? Sort of?
I do have very specific answers for it, but I will say I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, and I don't want to. There are a number of artists that submitted to Clink for a very long time that have moved on, and it's not because they found other jobs. It's because they're very upset or very disappointed in the way that Clink has run, especially with the crits and the voting and in some of the content that they've accepted over the last year and a half. It has been a huge shift, and I'm certainly not going to just make any accusations or anything. That's really not the point. But I know, like you mentioned, Aurelian, he's just not designing for Clink anymore. I don't know what the final straw was for him, but I do know that he's moved on, and some of the other artists that we used to see all the time, like Jay Matz and Phil Housen. Come on. He is, unfortunately, as long as I've been around, he has never voted well, and that's just unacceptable because he's just a shame. He's an incredible character artist. So I don't think that there are more artists submitting. Yes, there are more new people that are getting seen as to whether it was because there are 20 designs that are pulled up every week. I would say, and I don't know if Casey ever hears any of this, but if anyone has his ear on this point, I would say that he really should limit it to 2 designs from the same artist in a week, not because it shows favoritism to anyone. I have benefited. I have been on the receiving end of having 3 or 4 or even twice I've had 5 designs in the same week. And I will say personally, I hate that. Yeah. I hate it so much when I see that 5 designs are up in the same week, because I know none of them are going through. Yeah. Because it's become such a competitive community. And it really has to do a lot with a lot of the AI generative artists that you can see that it is AI. It just is. Yeah. There's a lot of animosity that comes there. So when I see that I have more than 2 designs up that week, it almost feels like it creates an environment of resentment. So like, why the hell is this guy getting 5 in this week? You know what? I'm just downvoting all of them. And that's just how it is. I have never had a time where I had 3 designs or more that I got anything through the shop. Never happened.
It makes total sense to me. I mean, just for one thing, artists have different fan bases. Glenn here is a devotee of Josh, and Josh isn't really my cup of tea. I have some false hats, but it's not the thing that it's my eye goes to. And so I have certain designers that I'm almost always going to vote for. And if you or Josh or someone has a lot in one week and you're not everybody's cup of tea, now your votes might be split up, and the chance that you're going to hit that threshold, it's not a favor to the artist to have more than 2. It just isn't a favor to the artist.
And I think that in his mind, it is a favor to the artist to bring up some of these deep dive ones. Like what the hell did I have the other day? That was from 3 years ago. The archerfish that I had either last week or the week before. I had completely forgot about that design. I figured by that time, if it hasn't been seen, it's just not going to be seen. So whatever. Right. So I think in his mind, it is a favor to them, or it's helping them to get some of the older stuff a chance to come back that maybe they wanted to run before, and maybe it just didn't fit the right grouping. See, he does like to fit in kind of like groupings for the designs that hit the shop that week. So maybe in Casey's mind, it is helpful, but I absolutely agree. It is not a favor to the artist at all.
Either in terms of voting or in terms of jealousy with other submitters. I mean, anybody who's submitting to Clink and they see one person getting 3 or 4 or 5 slots, they're just going to be resentful. Right. And it doesn't matter how skilled the person is. If they have 5 out of 20 hats, people are going to say, well, why wasn't mine in the mix? I mean, it's just human nature. It's so, this is a concern. And, I know you're going to be careful, but, one of my frustrations is I buy Clinks because I want to wear wearable art. And if I see AI generated art that I can get off any t-shirt company, off of Facebook, I don't usually buy those artists. I don't usually buy that level of art. I want something that looks unique. I want something that looks different. I can If it's just prompt generated, I mean, AI is an averager. It's going to give you average looking stuff. You can tell it to make something, and it takes all the known images and it kind of averages it out. That's what it does. I don't want average. I want extraordinary. I want completely different from anything that anyone else can buy. And it is frustrating to me when 2 of 6 designs are a particular artist who regularly uses AI enough that he could submit 3 designs a week. I mean, nobody can draw 3 hand-drawn designs a week. There's no way, no one's doing that. So they're clearly using it just for volume. I mean, the volume alone dictates that you'd have to use some kind of assistance. And when they get 2 out of 6 slots regularly, that's blocking people who do hand-generated art, or and it's something all of us on the panel talk about. It's a thing. It's a frustration. I know Casey has to pay the bills, and I see that clink hats sell well. I mean, wind hats sell well. I don't understand why, but they do. So I mean, I do understand he has to pay the bills, but that's not the reason I buy clinks. And if everything looks like wind, I'm not going to be buying clinks at some point. I'm just not. I don't want that look. So I don't know if in his mind he's balancing by picking some of these things that do sell well, so that he can get in some of the artists. I mean, I'll be honest, I feel bad when I really go to bat for a design and it's in the bottom of the best sellers. Yeah. I buy it. There's some that I adore that just don't sell. I will list one, the one with what's his name, with the dog, the work at Clink,
with Luis.
Yeah. It's a great look. It's a beautiful hat. It never got out of like the bottom 2 rows. And yet I looked at that and I was like, that's a great design. And it makes me hurt a little inside that more people didn't buy it. And I guess it's very specific. You probably have to be a huge Clink collector to allocate $55 to something that only clinkers will even get what it is. I get that. But like, it's a beautiful piece of art.
It's perspective, Matt. The way I see it, you and I ordered it. There's only going to be, 20, 30. That's super rare, ultra limited run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
when Bert makes Clink super popular, all our old hats will be super valuable. I was joking about that in the chat. Our very limited run Clinks will be super valuable.
We can joke about it, but I can say for myself, and I know Flanagan is had a number of his that Bert has worn. It's a real thrill when a celebrity of any status either wears your stuff or acknowledges your stuff. I still my biggest kick that I've ever had was a Mother's Day shirt that I designed. Bob's Burgers, Linda is slapping Bob, and it's the Bap slap meme. She's telling him that Mother's Day is every day, and John Roberts, the voice of Linda Belcher, reposts it every year on Mother's Day.
Oh wow!
It just floors me every year.
We are huge Bob's Burgers fans. We have watched every episode in its history, and that's appointment television for us. So I'm right there with you. When I saw your T-shirts in your shop, because obviously Clink's not going to make a Bob's Burger hat, I was like, oh, we got another fan here. Like, I didn't even know you had this in common. And I'm like, oh yeah, obviously he loves Bob's Burgers. You wouldn't put that much time into doing the artwork if you didn't like the show. So
no, it's
I told someone it's the most dysfunctional but loving family you'll ever meet. Like, they're all weird in their own unique way, but they hang together. It's a great show. I think, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one of our guests that's going on, Flanagan, has a hat that's hitting the shop, and so not a Clink hat, but we just want to give a little shout out to him. If I can get this thing to get big. I don't know. My computer is not cooperating. All right.
You gotta talk dirty to it.
There we go. Wow. All right. And so he took
I'm glad somebody else caught that.
He did a recolor of one of the Toronto NBA team, and it's going to Shop Anthem, which is a Canadian hat maker. I'm a huge fan of Shop Anthem. I bought a bunch of their hats, and so shout out to a friend of the show and one of our favorite clinkers. So good for him.
And that one is on the Anthem site right now.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw the release for it. It was either last week or the week before.
Nice.
I'm going to say
Yep.
we skip the mail call and jump into
Yeah.
the crits to shop.
Agreed.
If you can make it get big.
You're welcome.
So we here on Custom Cap Collectors have a love-hate relationship with the crits to shop changes, and sometimes we love them and sometimes we hate them. I personally was not a fan of these changes. I don't know if the volume of the bright colors had to be toned down for stitching, but I'm upset that the planets disappeared. So that's my vent. So any other comments?
I personally, so if there has to be changes that made to it, they know better than I do what is actually going to end up looking right on the hat. It is as much experience as I have, and as much as I try and ensure that I always use the same line weight, so I know how it's going to turn out. Ultimately, Casey knows better than I do. He just simply does. But I really hate it when I take the time to do a write-up on something and mention some of the features on it. Like I mentioned that there's the sun in the bell of the jellyfish, which they did keep that there, but then they changed the color, so it's not really the sun anymore. But then I mentioned the shooting starfish and the little comet jelly. So that's in the write-up. If you look at it, the pre-order post for it, it mentions those, but then I'm a chump because then they're not there on the actual hat that's available to pre-order.
Yeah.
So.
This may be one of my biggest disappointments in the last 6 months to a year. I mean, I know you're being tactful, but I was very unhappy with these changes. So, and I'm not even an artist, so I can only imagine how you felt. But yeah,
I was the only part that I was really kind of disappointed with the changes is that it has worked out so well for 3 or 4 hats now for my neon style to have that thicker, solid white interior to all of it, for it to then be shrunk down and thinned down. It just seemed weird to me to make as a choice. I'm still going to wear this one. I'm still going to enjoy the hat, but I will say the one that absolutely just got my goat, and I'm still a little pissed about it, is the rolling with Binomius. I don't even want the hat now.
Yeah, that was a lot of changes. A lot. There was
I mean, it's
lots of changes.
There isn't a single line in the new art that was from what I sent over. It's a completely different design. So, it is what it is, but I won't be wearing it.
I will say that in Just Chillin', I liked the color change for the shop version personally, but I can understand how the artist might not be happy about those color swaps. But,
I was fine with that. Just Chillin', I was fine with the color swaps on it. It seemed a little weird to take orange out of it and give him a red carrot nose, but whatever.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
This one was disappointing. I liked the original with the brightness. And I don't know if we said this already or not, but we definitely did amongst ourselves, was that the cosmic was taken out of the cosmic jelly.
Yeah.
There's no more cosmic. It's just neon jellyfish at this point.
Now it just looks like a neon sign you might see in a cool bar or something on the coast, but there's nothing cosmic about it. It's just kind of like, oh, it's like a neon bar art. Okay, I mean, which is a cool genre in itself, but
yeah, you're absolutely right, Glenn. I actually wasn't gonna to say anything, but I actually had on my board, I was going to do one of the deep sea jellyfish and do it in one of the neon styles when Creature had his first version of the Cosmic Jelly up. So I kept this deep sea jellyfish in my back pocket. I was going to wait to see once this one left the shop, see how well it did, to see whether it was worth revisiting or not. But I don't see how it's going to be significantly different enough now that it isn't cosmic to show that it's a completely different setting, a completely different habitat.
I did still pre-order it though.
Thanks.
I know it's frustrating for your art to be changed, but I also know that you don't have any control over that. So most cases, whenever I really like a design, I still try to pre-order it because I know the artist didn't ask for it to be changed at from crits to shops. So I always like to still support the artist and pre-order. Even if I'm not on board with all the changes, sometimes they grow on me.
It's hard. It's you're spending $55 plus shipping on a hat. If you don't like it, that's a lot of money to put up for something that you're sort of ho hum about. So
yeah,
I say that as someone who's bought a lot.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. I prefer the original color here. I like the yellow, but I will say that on the white crown or the whatever color this is, I do notice the green drips. I notice the drips a lot more on the lighter color than I did on the yellow, but I like both versions. I could see some attraction of both versions. Any thoughts?
Yellow's a hard sell, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah, I liked it in the yellow, and I'm not a yellow hat wearing guy, and I thought it looked cool. I would have bought it in the yellow, but I'm still definitely getting it in the new shop version. But I kind of wish the drip stayed black, to be honest. I thought that it just fit I don't know what was being conveyed other than toxicity, but I think that the black for some reason just conveys that better. And I think it would show up better on the crown. But
yeah, it would.
I think the green will be cool too.
Yeah, for me the drips, I didn't even notice the drips at first on the new one as much as I did on the old one. And when it first came out in the shop, when we were looking at changes in the group chat, I didn't even notice the drips until Matt said something about the drips being changed to green, and that's when I was like, oh damn, I didn't even see them. So for me, I like the yellow, and I like the yellow better because it's kind of like the dichotomy of like the beauty and the toxicity. And I feel like the yellow kind of conveys the beauty more, the beauty side of it more.
Yep.
Either way, though, I'm still in.
Yeah, sure. I just know that yellow is a real hard sell. I think the last really successfully selling yellow crown clink had was Good Chucks. The the woodchucks. It was a woodchuck with nunchucks, and it was a yellow crown.
Yeah, it's 40 swords. Yeah. It was black and yellow because it was like was Game of Death. The jumpsuit, the Bruce Lee jumpsuit. That was the color. That was the color motif.
Yeah, I want to say that was the last time that one sold even decently with the yellow green.
Yeah, you're probably right.
When we had Lane on, I brought up the pirate bots, which is the pirate in the shopping cart shop, and he said I bought it, but he's like, I never wear yellow. He's like, I've never worn this hat, and I said, he goes, I just don't wear yellow, and I was like, I love the fact that it's yellow. It's actually why I bought the hat. Like I thought it was fantastic, but it's a consumers want different things, so it is tough. And I like a yellow hat. It's not a problem for this consumer, but obviously I'm not the majority.
Just to chime in from the chat, Patrick asked a question about just like a peek behind the curtain, when you sign a contract, like when Clink reaches out to you and you sign a contract, you send it. Like they say, we want your design, you send it, and you sign it and it goes back. You don't have the final say. So you don't get, like, once they have your logo, your design, they do with it as they will. And of course, like, we've seen pushback from the community and such, but that isn't part of the deal, the agreement, right? They buy your design, your logo, and then they use it how they see fit. So just in case that wasn't clear, you're signing it like right away. And I'm sure y'all, of course, Mike, you have more experience than me, but I just remembered my first one that I ever got in was with Aurelian, and he's just so like hands off, and there's the time difference. And he was like, it was my first hat, and he was just like, hey, I don't his English is good, but he was just like, I don't have time for this. When they reach out, just give them the stuff. And I was like, what the hell? What do you mean give them the stuff? Like, and this Frenchman sends me a freaking like the actual like logo in its original state, the file format and stuff. And I get an email, and I'm just like, and so I freaking went through and signed this whole damn contract, and I didn't even know his damn hat size, or of course like any of his address. I'm like, you guys have that, right? Clearly, of all artists, you would have Aurelian's info, right? I don't need that.
Right.
So no, that got signed of like Tuesday morning from Monday, right? So and even that, she was on my ass. Like, it's going Friday. We need it signed like today before noon, because then Willy Wonka can start tinkering, right?
Yeah.
It happens fast.
If you look back at what did it end up being called? Ducks in a Row. It was originally Abduction, but then it turns out there's a board game with the same name. That was supposed to go out on sale that same week, but that exact thing happened where it was Aurelian that was the artist, and he hadn't sent it over the art file over to Steven to sign the contract and everything. And Aurelian was not at home for a couple of days, and they had to bump it back by a week or two just to get it signed.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the time difference. I mean, like when I chat with 14.8, I have to remember he's 5 hours ahead in England.
Mm-hmm.
So, same with France.
But you're absolutely right, Adam. As soon as you sign that contract, you are signing over your rights to that art. So they're essentially buying your artwork, and they can do whatever they want to with it.
Yeah.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
The only change I could see was the UV, really. So I said all about the UV.
I mean, you got some highlight on the wings there, right? And a little bit of change in color, and the highlight in the strike as it appears through this like out the sword. But we've talked about it, man. That's freaking Milos, dude. Like, this freaking guy, and I told y'all when I was at the shop, I was just shooting the breeze with Casey, and we were talking about a recent one of Milos, and he just like laughed and smiled. He's like, yeah, that freaking guy. I was just like, man, you like barely touch his stuff, and he was just like, I don't have to. But man, what a freaking compliment. And yeah, not all stuff needs to be changes. Like, we can disagree and everything, but just, it's like every week, this dude, whatever he puts out, the subject matter, regardless, the lighting, the contrast, it is like very minimal changes. And like, man, I'm sure Milos is just walking around, freaking chest out, like after just getting married. The stuff never gets changed. That dude is probably like on swagger on 1,000 over there. So yeah, it's good.
Milos is an incredible guy. He's very down to earth. I'm by far his biggest fan out there. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be poop on a flip flop, and if it was his, I'd buy it. He's just an incredible artist, and but he's always very approachable, really down to earth, and I can't remember what I was just working on something that I was going back and forth with him. I would say it was the frozen version of the Clink glasses I was trying to do. And that's what it was for the frozen version of the Clink glasses. I did the ice cold draft. And I wanted his I wanted his feedback on it because he is so good at doing the angular and really sharp edges with all the ice frozen designs. You know, the Tyrant and the Glacier stuff. He's so good at it, and I wanted to defer to his opinion on it, and he's like, I don't even want to approach talking to you about texture. He's like, I look at your stuff to decide what to do with texture. So neither one of us wanted to get to say this is what you need to do with it.
That's funny.
Yeah,
A little bit of after
very,
you. No,
very
after
cool
you.
guy. The overseas artists, they don't get their hats. The Clink would have to pay the tariffs on it, which would end up being something like $80 to ship, just for the shipping to get Milos the hat. So so a couple years ago, Eric the Saint and I bought the hat, and then he had the contacts to ship the last. I asked Milos what was in dead stock that he really wanted it. It was one of his first designs was the Scarab. So I bought the hat, shipped it to Eric, and then Eric had the contacts to be able to ship it overseas to Germany and have someone drop it off to get it over to Serbia. So that's the only Clink hat that he owns that he actually has in hand is one that we had to send him.
That's crazy because I have bought hats from Europe and used Hat Ninja. I know Leon would talk about how he had to pay tariffs on all the hats, even like freebie hats that got sent to him in Canada. So I know the tariff thing's for real, but I mean, come on, like you can't send. Like, I know U.S. artists. I think the U.S. artists get 2 copies of the hat. Like you couldn't even send 1 copy.
Yeah. It's they send 2 free hats per design that goes through. So if it's a collab, then each party in the collab gets 1. But it's just the tariffs for his part of Europe. It costs more to pay the tariffs than the cost of the hat. So
that's
Rafael too. I was just talking to him about the other day. He opts out of like some of his designs, and whatever that agreement looks like in lieu of like the royalties or whatever else. But he was just saying, I asked him about a hat of his, and I'm like, I'm looking for this in the same size you wear if you'd be interested in selling. He was like, nah, I opted out of that one. Love it, but it's too expensive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That hurts a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Comments?
I was kind of surprised they had to change this one. I thought it would have worked better with the kind of tanned the earth tones.
Agreed. But, I'm disappointed with the color change. If you guys recall, I was a big fan of the pink button. I think that that little touch is a really nice touch, especially the way it connects to the glasses. Now the current version, everything's all uniform. And it's fine. It doesn't like necessarily detract from the image or anything like that. But it's just I like the original better.
The underwings, they're more jagged in the original and they're more curvy in the shop version. What do you think about that?
I think that's just a difference of Rob's style. His style, it uses a lot of jagged edges, and it just embroiders easier when they go to do the digitizing. As I understand it, the rounded corners are a lot easier to plot than those jagged edges. Yeah.
Interesting. You'd think a straight line if you're stitching it, not knowing it. I would think, well, you're just stitching. If you stitch in a line, I would have thought that would actually be easier, not the curved line. So that's
yes, except when they get to the point where it's got to go the other direction.
Okay.
It's not a complete. I'm not going to explain it well. Yeah, the machine's going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then when it's getting to that corner, it's got to get down to a little itty bitty taper.
Got it.
And then go the other direction, and then start at the taper and get wider. It's from what I understand, the actual digitizing that is just a mess.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I don't know. The original to me, this bird looks like he's probably maybe from like the Jersey Shore. He's got some street cred. He's pretty cool. The one on the right looks like he introduces himself like, "What's up, my brethren?" Have you heard about the bird? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But to me, he lost the street cred.
Definitely lost his attitude for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. It definitely.
Yeah.
The shop version lost street cred for sure.
yeah.
Remember how I was mentioning about that one Reap What You Sow went from slightly creepy to slightly cute. It's almost like a bit of a Disneyification, that goes on when the redraw happens and you lose attitude,
Yeah.
The shop version looks like the Offspring video, "The Pretty Fly for a White Guy."
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, we're dating ourselves, but it was funny.
Yeah.
All right, this is probably one where Glenn and I will have to have a battle. I actually like most of the changes for the shop version, and I did pre-order this one. So this is a Vaults that's going in my collection. I like the fact that the hat is brighter and more noticeable. You can see that, like, oh, something just happened here. My only comment, and Aaron had a totally different viewpoint, but like the sun looks a little bit too much like the Japanese rising sun from World War II to my eyes. But I'm a big history, political science guy, so maybe other people didn't look at it that way. But it feels a little too rising sun for my taste. But I like the fact that the sky is a little brighter behind it, and I like the wire, the fishing line is much more distinct, and it has this kind of like curly shape. I like a lot of the changes.
Yeah.
Well, the fishing line, actually, Josh changed. This was the first. The one you have on the left was the first version before Josh made his own changes to it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
It says crits at the bottom.
I definitely see what
right
you're
there. It
talking
says
about.
crits. I mean, I cropped it from.
But
Remember,
we
had
talked
done it.
about that though.
Sometimes they do.
They ran the first one.
They posted the wrong one apparently.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember Glenn talking about that when we talked about it the first time.
Yeah, he added the fishing pole, and he added the line, the fishing line changed differently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I forgot.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks.
It's all good.
Yeah, and I totally see what you're saying about the sun in the shop version. I just the reason I saw it a different way was because I can't pinpoint anything specific in this particular show that it made me think of, but there's a show that one of my sons used to watch called Samurai Jack. It was on, like I can't remember the network.
Cartoon
It might have been
Network,
just Cartoon Network. But the imagery just had this starkness to it that used a lot of line work like that was just coming out at you, and it, to me, it creates a frenetic feeling, in the sun, and it and especially with it coming from behind the bear, I think that gives it a little more power. That's where I see it. I don't see it as bright and sunny. I see it as like even more scary because it's just like this blast coming from the bear.
It's aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing about
funny
art.
you bring up. What's that?
I mean, art evokes different responses in viewers. So for me,
sure. Yeah.
I saw reference to the rising sun of Japan World War II, and you saw reference to a kid's cartoon. Same piece of art, different reactions.
Right.
It's funny you mentioned Samurai Jack, because the creator of Samurai Jack has a new show that is very popular in pop culture right now, Primal. And the two different versions of the hat kind of look at like they're from the two different universes. The one on the right looks more Samurai Jack now, and the one on the left is very primal and primeval.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
See, for me, I still pre-ordered it, but for me, the one on the right, it doesn't evoke horror. It's too bright.
Not gloomy. It's not gloomy enough for you. Yes.
It's too bright. It's too happy. It's like the sun's coming up. It's going to be a great day. Not this bear just murdered this fisherman. Like,
It's a great day for the bear.
Yeah, it is.
Like-
Look at the bear.
Very
Yeah,
species of
exactly.
you to
It's all
say
about
that.
perspective, man.
Right.
I said
it is
that.
about
Like
perspective.
speaking like someone who's never. Yeah, you're speaking like someone who's never stood in front of a grizzly, Glenn. I could tell you, but yeah, and it's funny. It's funny you say that, right? Because you're right. Like, and like Matt has said previously, I can appreciate Josh. I think he's so good at what he does. It's like an artist. I typically find myself not buying as much, but I can appreciate like how good he is in his lane. Not even in his lane. He's just good, right? For me, I like them both. I would buy both. I really like this image, this story. It's fun to me. It borders fun and creepy. And like the one on the right, I just think it's like, while it might not have been the color palette I would have gone with, I think that bear is translatable from probably from a distance away. And as someone who likes bears too, I just think it's dope. I think it's fun, and I actually will be getting it. So, but I would get both.
Yep.
I think it's really good. And especially when he made the edits with the fishing line and stuff to be more clear and definitive. I think it's great.
Yo.
Both versions.
Glenn, I have an
It makes
alternative
me-
hat for you.
I do
It
like
makes
that
me,
one.
Yeah.
I do
you know,
like
I
that
also
one a
had
lot.
another
Cabin
thought, too,
Crashers.
that
Yep.
Yes, that one's a
It's
good
a
one.
Noble North
Yeah.
hat, so it's probably Aurelian.
And I had another thought about it too. It also makes me think of the movie Cocaine Bear, which happened
Yeah.
all in the
Yeah.
daytime. You know, that bear killed everyone in the daytime.
See,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here having the man
Yeah.
or bear, like which bear?
Right?
I'm choosing bear, right or left.
Maybe that's why this bear's so angry. He didn't get the cocaine.
Right. And that's exactly what, you know, that bear was crazy for the cocaine. So it was, you know,
Yeah, Glenn,
it-
I can't speak from experience, but the bear on the left feels more methy. Whereas the right is,
I like
Was it
how
the
you add
teeth?
that disclaimer on there.
yeah.
See, I think
Yeah,
not
well,
only is it
otherwise I
a
knew I
difference
was
in
gonna get called out on
perspective. I think it's also a difference in experience because the one on the right, the newer version, to me is actually more threatening because it's that time of day. You're out there fishing. You're not paying attention to anything. The light is just right. It's just really, really nice and peaceful. And then a surprise, there's this bear.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
They do both work, but I actually really like the one that hit the shop.
Yeah.
So, you know how earlier we are talking about how hats connect to personal memories and, you know, experiences. When I was 5, we moved to the Ozarks, which is the part of the country that Mike lives in. In fact, I lived probably an hour and a half from where he lives in Northwest. And as a kid, I'd hear my granddad and my dad tell these stories about bears breaking into cars and ripping up the interior, trying to eat food and stuff. So we go camping, of course, and the first night they're all sitting around the campfire talking till late, and I'm getting sleepier and sleepier, but I don't want to go to the tent by myself because I want other people, adults around me. So finally I'm like, I'm really tired. I'm going to get in the tent. And every single twig that broke, my childhood brain was like, it's a bear. He's coming to rip this tent apart. He's going to eat me, you know? And like, I don't know how I ever fell asleep, but I was like convinced I was going to die in a bear attack that night because the adults have been sharing all these little, well, I heard this neighbor that broke into their cabin and, you know.
That's funny.
All right. And then we got,
I don't know if I'll just say, I don't know if I'm the only one, if I may be so bold, Matt. That's definitely not the bear story I thought you were going to go towards or anything.
That's going to be in the subscriber only.
Right. Yeah. Matt's going to keep that for his only fans.
The custom cap collectors only fans.
Right.
One of my Lego friends and I, we're really good friends, but he's a straight guy who does acting, and I'm the gay guy that plays ice hockey. So we joke that like people misread us all the time. Or sometimes, and I joke, I was like, you and I, we need to do an OnlyFans channel where all we do is build Legos shirtless. Like, you know, there's the table, so you can't see anything lower. And we could just drop sexual innuendos the whole time that we're building Lego. And he's like, that would actually be, he goes, there actually might be people who subscribe to watch that. I was like, you're probably right.
Yeah. You can call it
completely off pocket.
Get bricked.
Completely off topic, but Matt, do you follow Sammy Sullivan?
I don't know.
No, she's on the women's U.S. rugby team.
Okay.
And she's a huge Lego aficionado.
Okay.
So they weren't allowed to talk about it. They weren't allowed to show anything with their. I don't know what the agreements are with Lego and or maybe it's because it was the Olympics and they didn't have partnerships, whatever. She wasn't allowed to talk about it the whole time, but she got home and Lego had sent her a custom care pack that was something like $2,000, and one of them was the full size, the huge several thousand piece Eiffel Tower.
Sweet. All right,
Nice.
I'll go look it up, which is rare because most of my friends know I'm really into Lego, so I get all of the announcements when a new set comes out. My non-Lego friends would be like, "Hey, did you know Lego now has a set that's a shoe?" And I'm like, "Yes, I knew about it 3 months ago." But I don't want to be a dick. But I'm like, it's not news to me. But I understand you're trying to show that that this is my hobby, but it's very rare that somebody breaks Lego news to me. But that's news. I did not know about this.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
You broke Lego news with me, so that's
There you go.
good job.
That's cool.
All right, we got Sumatra. Thoughts?
That green.
I
don't get it.
Start off. I love. I love this logo. I remember when Brandon kind of sent it to me just before it broke, and against Milos, right? It's a good chance I'm gonna like it too. It could be the Milos stand, if not Mike. But I like love. We haven't had an orangutan, which is weird. Like it's such a prominent. It's like a icky or like a close kind of off logo to Klink's gorilla. So I love it. I love the texture and the fur. Both are awesome. But this, I don't always feel this way, but this to me should have stayed all black. It looks so much more imposing. He looks
100%.
so much more badass. Like this is the all black hat. I loved it as is. This is one I might even order 2 of. I love it. I love everything about it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes meets like Warriors kind of vibe. Loved it.
Yeah.
I will pre-order the new one. I will, right? Because I love it. But like the green, he just looks so much less imposing, and it lost its heaviness, right? So
yeah,
I'm mad about this one a little bit.
Yeah, I don't even know why. What was the thought process behind green? It just doesn't make any sense at all. There's no connection anywhere. To it. I don't. Well, those are connected to each other. That's all. That's the only connection is to each other. That's it.
And then
I think it was just a matter of the rainforest where they live. I think that was all it was.
Suppose. Yeah.
The lime green eye change is weird too.
It was a bad call.
Bad.
Okay, what if they had done, that jungle print, the plants? Would that have worked?
No.
It would have made
Man, I hate that so much.
It would have lots
got to
of
be black.
But the image on the left is scary because it's emerging out of this inky blackness, and the image on the right, it's like I'm so distracted by the brim. This is the guy who never notices a brim. It doesn't even know what the under visor color is. Most of the time. I am distracted by this brim. This is one where the brim literally moved me from would buy to I'm not ordering. Like they lost me as a customer. And I almost never care about brims, but this was a disaster.
And the thread colors don't help it either. On the all black, it's a lighter gray, so it's a starker contrast. But I think the change to the club, that was smart. Those were good color choices there because it's got more highlight and it stands out a little more. It kind of sunk in on the all black, but really should have kept it the lighter gray for on the body.
Right. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. I know Brandon was just happy to finally see it get to the shop, but
sure.
He's not mad at it that it changed, but it certainly wouldn't have been his choice.
Well, we're mad.
It's like it made it to the shop, but at what cost?
Yeah,
at what cost?
Yeah. This was in soccer terms, own goal.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
That's an own goal right there. All right. So we're running long, so I won't. But this was shared in our private chat. There were 3 pinwheels that dropped today. Was it today? Yeah,
it was today.
That used the pinwheels for minor league baseball designs. And speaking of which, Adam was showing us he has the original swatch, I think, for one of these. And I don't think Clink has done a couple segmented where you get the 2 panels are one color. But should Clink do pinwheels? Something to think about. I don't know.
I strongly say no.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I can't stand
if it's done right. Yeah, if it's done right, I'd be fine with it. But it can't be haphazard. It's got to make sense. You know?
I would have bought 2 of the 3 of these if I had the extra money.
Yeah. The 2 on the right.
I haven't bought one yet, but they appeal to me. But I haven't seen one where the design and the color, like, it hasn't quite grabbed me.
You don't think the one in the middle here works?
It works, but it's.
I like it.
It's not a Jesse hat. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there was one. The guy who does the peppers, pepper guy. What's his name?
Yeah,
Big Red.
Alec.
Oh, he had a color pack, right?
Yeah.
And one of those was supposed to be a pinwheel, but when they got it in hand,
page perception,
like what? You have it. You have it.
I do. Yeah, I do.
They screwed up one of the blues. There's no color. Yeah. There's almost no difference between 2 of them.
It's like so. I mean, I've seen the photos of it, and it's like, they're different, but boy, they're really
barely. Yeah,
I have it in hand, and you need a microscope to see the difference. It's bad.
I'll say this: I'm pretty strong in my opinion on gimmicky fabrics in gimmicky, like the pinwheel thing. If it fits, I'm with you there. But far too often, and we're seeing this come up a lot more often here, even with Blink, where they're taking subpar logos and throwing in this gimmicky, fabric or the print or whatever, and trying to make up for the difference on it, and it just makes it even more obvious that it didn't help it out.
Right.
Yeah, I think the worst example of the pinwheel is from My Fitted's New Jersey, and they had this Richmond's flying squirrel hat.
Yeah.
Everything on it, like all the colors they picked shouldn't have been used in the threads. It was like purple and a teal and a bright orange. I mean, this thing was hideous. So it turned me off for pinwheel hats forever.
Yeah, I can imagine.
My heart paused for a second because I buy a fair number of hats from My Fitted, but he is a risk taker, and it either works or it does not work.
Yeah.
It does not work. It's like I wouldn't accept that as a gift, but like I'm not paying for that. But when it works, I'm like, take my money.
Yeah.
I'll admit I bought that the Clearwater Threshers one that is like the aqua, the weird water print. And if I had known that the fabric on the brim was freaking terry cloth, I wouldn't have bought that. And even worse is the undervisor. Yeah. The worst part is the undervisor is this weird rubberized material. It's like they sliced off part of a bath mat and stuck it to it.
All right, I'll get it out.
Yeah.
I haven't worn it yet.
Oh, you have the exact hat that he's talking about, Matt?
Is it in the hat museum?
This one? Or they had 2 of them. There were 2 Florida ones that came out.
Is that the one that has the terry cloth?
Something that's misinterpreted.
It's
Can
like
you make yourself big?
Can you make it
screen,
big,
Matt?
Oh,
how's that? Go full screen. Yeah.
Jesse didn't want to say that. I understand. But
She didn't want me to make another crass joke. Sorry.
maximize.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
No, not that one.
It was the other chart. Okay. This one.
It was
I like this. It's like the Japanese wave of Florida Marlins.
Yeah, that was from the line of the Great Wave off Kanagawa. But no, this was one from My Fitted's New Jersey that it's almost like the dappled light water effect across the whole crown.
I know what you're
And
talking
it was the Clearwater Threshers logo. And seriously, the top side of the brim is terry cloth, like this weird light blue, and the underside is the same texture as the underside of a bath mat. It's the weirdest damn thing, and they're charging a premium for this thing. It's still like $65 on the shop. They still have it.
It's like it was an $80 hat, I think, when it came out. It was
Yeah.
Matthew,
crazy.
does
expensive.
yours have any of that bath mat?
No, mine's just
texture?
so the inside is just a regular under brim. This is like slightly fuzzy, but not weird. I mean, I don't know. It's just a little bit fuzzy, but I'm very happy with this hat. So, but there's
Yeah, I'll dig it. I'll dig the hat out and post some photos on the Buy Sell Trade group.
I spent
Yeah.
enough time on that website. I know exactly what hat you're talking about. That
Yeah.
I did not buy that one.
Yeah.
Nice
right,
job, Glenn. Looking good.
Yeah. We didn't get to do mail call,
Oscar
so I didn't.
Mule.
No, we
Yeah.
didn't. We're already going long.
There
I
it is.
figured
Speaking
we
of
could do a
Phil,
mega mail
yeah.
call next week.
Oh, we got the mule.
Oh,
Oh,
I am so mad that I didn't buy that in dead stock when it was there.
should have
Um,
warned me, Glenn. I would have gotten
So
mine
good.
too. We're gonna have to do it again. I'll be twins.
Right.
All right.
Look, he made me big.
Yeah, get bricked. You could say that as you zoom in. That could be your tagline before you zoom in. On
We-
your Lego
we need-
show.
We need like a soundboard. You hit the button.
Yeah,
Get brick.
that's all we need. That's all we need.
if you do that, make sure you get Blaze saying, "I got cash."
Anyone want to comment?
Don't care.
Right.
Okay.
Good.
I don't understand.
I don't understand the red. Like sometimes tone on tone works. I don't feel like it works here. Sometimes it does really well. That tone on tone, like same.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree with you.
I didn't understand the logo at all, to be honest. So
Yeah,
the color change didn't really make a lot of difference to me.
right. Yeah, not at all.
I will say
Yeah.
the addition of more coins is an improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, Casey keeps taking the AI hats and making them look better, which I don't know that that's the best strategy personally, but anyways.
I just don't understand fingers on a bird.
Yeah,
Just-
thank you. And the fact that one hand has 5 fingers and no thumb, and the other one
Yeah.
clearly has 4 fingers and a thumb. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
like I
Okay.
said, don't care.
Moving on.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Let me get my hockey stick out. Woo!
Okay. Before anyone says anything, I only wouldn't have bought the original because I am a diehard hate the Kings. I would never buy it in the original color.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean, up until like a hot minute ago, the Kings never won anything, and then they won 2 Stanley Cups. But I mean, they were terrible most of my hockey fandom. So that's interesting that you have that reaction. So
I spent a lot of time in Arizona, and I'm still, although I'm a huge Blackhawks fan, I'm also a big Coyotes Mammoth fan. So they had a real rivalry, and I'd say my all-time biggest hated player is Dustin Brown, the captain for the Kings.
as a Thrasher season ticket holder, I understand exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I'm the hockey guy, so I'm going to go first. I like the changes. I was already going to buy it, and now I'm going to buy 2 of them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm only going to buy 1. But I think the first one, to me, the thing that I like about the changes is that it looks like he's skating around in the dark. I mean, come on. Ice rinks are very brightly lit. That's kind of the way it is. You go out there and you're like, wow, it's really bright. You can see the
Friends
puck.
can skate in the dark, holding hands and listening to romantic music. Fine.
Don't go all heated rivalry on me now. Come on.
Yes. Oh, I was thinking Happy Gilmore with "Endless Love."
Right.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
that's a good one. Okay.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
I also, again, I like the the decal on the tape stick going from the Kong to just tape. Like I like that as a hockey player. Like that looks like a
It
real
makes
tape
more
stick.
sense.
Yeah.
I like the shine on the ice. It looks
Yes,
like ice.
that's and I really like the little shadow underneath the skate as well. It just, I mean, it's just all of that just gives it just a little bit more depth, and I feel like the movement is more established with that change to the ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is that the one back leg looks awfully skinny, and
Looks a little hoofy.
I don't like that they toned down the color on the neck chain. I liked it that gold color. It's bling.
that's
It's
right.
supposed
Yeah.
to stand out.
Sure.
All right, I'll shut up. What other people?
I can't see clearly enough to see if they just change it to metallic thread. That might be why.
It looks like it'll be.
That could be.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be because it's got that more gold look to it instead of that bright yellow. So
if it's metallic thread, it'll display in the mock-up as a different tone. Is that?
Yeah.
it looks a little darker like that.
Yeah, it's an odd off tan on the swatches.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh, well,
probably
then
gonna
is
be
the blade on the one?
the
skate
blade
gonna
on the skate, the stick, and the chain.
Oh, is
That's
it? Are they the same? Then
That's a lot.
probably not.
Oh, so then maybe not. Yeah.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I'll
ordered
go
it
next.
already.
I'll go next, Matt, and kindly remind you, you're not the only hockey guy in this chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Uh,
I'm sorry. I'm so used to being the only hockey guy in my circles.
It's all
right?
good.
So-
It's all good. It's all good.
So
Yeah, and as we have a Blackhawk jersey, yeah, exactly. Well, first of all, let me just express my disappointment before I even talk about the hat. I came back in and I heard you hate Dustin Brown. What the hell is that?
Oh.
That's
Oh
what
my God, I hate that guy so
I
much.
was like, how did we get here?
So very much.
Don't love that, but to each their own. So, from being from SoCal and playing hockey and stuff. I shouldn't say of course. There's another dumb team that lives in SoCal, but I am a Kings fan. A stupid dumb orange team that can't even decide what their damn colors and logos are every 3-4 years, idiots. But anyways, we don't play across from Disneyland like that other team. So I'll say I obviously do not like the color changes, especially given who came out with it. Right, we all know Omar, his allegiance, where his allegiance lies.
Yeah.
And me as a Kings fan, but again, the logo's so good. Of course, I'm gonna buy the new one too. I like it. I think there are certain elements to the player, like the hockey player, to Omar that look good. So yeah, of course I'm gonna buy it. But yeah, I mean, as a Kings fan stuff, of course I love the original better. But both are cool. Both slap, I will say. So yeah, I like it. I like some of the elements on the new one better, but it's good either way.
What if it was in the King's purple colorway? Would
Oh,
you be excited?
hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. For sure then. Yeah. I have a lot of purple hats as well. I like purple, but not just because of Kings. I just like it. But yeah, of course I'd be into that too.
All right.
One quick question from the original. When do artists say enough is enough with sticking the tiny Clink logo on everything? Because once you get seriously, because there are so many that are tagging that on, just thinking that it's like it's a good extra little touch. But you got to realize that once it's smaller than the back hit, it doesn't look right when it actually gets embroidered. It's almost unidentifiable.
Oh, Moriarty's going right at you, Adam. He's going. Moriarty is calling you out.
What?
Just remember what SoCal team won the Stanley Cup first.
Oh, Lordy. Hey, Patrick, talk to me when you guys have more than one. Give me a break. Or maybe I should wait till we have a Disney movie named after us. Psych. Anyways, yeah. So enough about that. Good for you. Happy for you, Patrick. Good guy. But miss me with all that. But.
We are running long, so we won't do it this show. But at some point, we need to get the Jesse first NHL game in person report from the holiday season. But I want to hear blow by blow her experience. But we got enough. We got enough content this show, so we'll save that. We'll save that.
Yeah.
Comments?
I'm glad to see this is getting made.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Glad it made it through. That's I think even the little minor tweaks that happen to it, I'm not mad at any of them. I'm just glad to see it in the shop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that the tweaks were necessary for embroidery. That's all there was to it.
That's cool.
Yeah, great design, great cause. I definitely hope it doesn't sit in the bottom of pre-orders. Hope it makes the climb up.
Yep.
I'm buying it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we probably all are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, next.
The one thing I would say is that I like the fact that the final version does not have words on the balloon. I think this looks better, and the balloon looks a little bit larger than it was previously, and I think the
dots are a little bigger.
So I like the little tweaks.
Yep.
This is one time where I'm not mad at Casey. Sumatra, disaster zone. This is better, but anyways, love hate, and this is almost unchanged to my eye.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did the under visor get one shade different? It looks like maybe, but
might be darker.
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah.
The only thing changed is the name.
I didn't notice.
In the office, when like Pam gives what's his face the picture and says corporate's called.
It's the same.
They're the same. Yeah.
This is what she should have used. Yeah.
It's
Creed. Yeah.
The For Honor had to change. It's a long-running video game series.
Yeah. Gotcha.
All right. Is anyone ordering this one?
Oh yeah,
probably.
Milos.
I'll probably order this.
Yeah.
As a drinker, I get a total different connotation when I hear For Honor. I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows that when you do a shot. We'll move on.
Yeah.
We definitely need to do some point like a slightly intoxicated version where everyone has to do shots during the show. Like that could be very entertaining. Maybe we would get fired or something. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know who's
Fired.
Clink will ban us or something. Wait, they're running a bar out of it.
If they didn't ban us on MUC with some of the shit coming out of Creature's mouth half the time, you're fine.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, as promised, we got is it cute or is it creepy versions? Thoughts?
Hey, I'm thrilled that it went back to
back to a rail. Yeah.
Back to a railhead. Yeah.
Yeah. So the only difference is that the front panel actually looks stone now. So it is going to be a stone front panel with the black all around. So yeah, the picture you have isn't quite the correct one, Matt.
Very close, but yeah.
We'll try
but the logo design itself is going to stay the same as far as the shop changes are concerned. So it's still going to have that little bit of cuteness to it, rather than all the creepy.
I
thought the original had the creepiness.
Like some of the
What was
red
that, Jesse?
stitching doesn't quite make sense, and like why are there red X's on the eyes? Why the nose? Like if that's a skull, there's some things that it's like, well, it works, I guess. It's sewn. I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I'm probably gonna get it, but I do have mixed feelings about maybe we went too far with the red.
On the Jessie scale of cuteness, how cute is this?
There's cuter. It's not high. It's so funny because Aaron brought that up and he's like, it's
cuter.
I'm like, are we sure about that attribute?
It's the eyes. It's the eyes.
Yeah. Because they are kind of big.
It's moderately cuter, but not cute.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like the difference between an alligator and a kitten. It's
yeah.
Wow, that went dark.
But you know what I mean. That's a pretty stark difference. Between cute and not cute. So it's cute and creepy.
Cuddly.
But nonetheless, I think the eye change and there's just
It
a
got
certain, I don't
rounder.
know.
Got
Yeah,
round.
yes, there's some rounder edges to the feet, that makes it look a little puffier, and maybe that's not a bad thing because it's supposed to be, a plushie anyway,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
nonetheless,
Ah.
So the big question here is, Glenn, is this a buy or a pass?
It's a buy.
It's a buy. I don't know. I really like it. If I'm gonna do like you're trying to do and like stick to 3, that's what I'm trying to 3 a month. 3 a month. Like, I don't know. I'm still deciding.
It's an edge case.
I really like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Ed Weird and Brandon too. Most likely I'm gonna buy it. I'm like 85% right now.
Okay.
So most likely it is a buy.
And
I mean, hell, I made noise about the colorway. I've got to buy it.
Yeah.
Aaron, could you clarify what it is about shifting from the like monotone to the two-tone? What in your eye, why did you have such a negative reaction to the proposed shift?
Cheeto fingers.
I like to see something a little different. Okay. And to have those 2 front panels be a different color, I think it just added to the look for me, and that's what I liked about it. And then to see it go to an all chrome crown was just too much brightness, for the effect that we're trying to go for in this design, or at least my interpretation of it, because like that all chrome crown again lightens the mood. It's kind of like Glenn talking about the bear, in Josh's hat. It's it just took it to a different direction that wasn't for me. It needed the black to keep some of its creep factor. So
I think we've got one more and then we are done. And this one there wasn't a crits, but this went to the shop and I couldn't find any example of this particular hat. And Rusty chimed in and said I was pleased to get the intended colorway back. Yeah, I couldn't find an example of this, a version of this being on the artist's Instagram page, but I don't know. Thoughts? Any thoughts?
I know Adam said he's getting it.
Okay.
Yep. Obvious reasons. Not just a dog, but pretty crazy timing. Omar and I both losing our dudes in the same week. So love the colorway, as I mentioned before. I think this colorway like slaps hard, and an homage to what some of us consider a family member and whatnot. So, and at least for me, it's still a bully breed, so I'll happily take it. And we don't get a lot of Jason V, so I also consider it a privilege when they come up. I'm also not going to pass on it. So Caffeine's awesome, Jason V's awesome, so it's a no-brainer for me. Colorway, all of it, dog. Yep, love it.
Nice. That's cool.
Once again, King's colorway too.
Yeah, I guess I can't really complain. We got one. So, and it is the dog one. So, all right.
Put some skates on that dog. Put some skates on it. I want to thank Mike for coming on for a very long time. We love talking about hats, so we're having a good time. I know you've got family and stuff like that, so appreciate you sharing your time. Appreciate you sharing your perspective and your knowledge. Most of us on here just buy hats and we wear them because we're fans. But definitely, it's always fun to talk about. Because we are connoisseurs we are the consumers. It's always fun to talk about some of the choices and debates, and obviously we like to talk about this every Monday. So thank you for your time, and we'd love to have you back. Come back sometime.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mike. Yeah, it was great having
you. Absolutely. It's been a year and a half or almost 2 years now since I stepped away from MEC, and just it really didn't have anything to do with the guys on the show. Creature and I had a kind of a falling out for a while, but we've solved that. But I was getting a lot of negative, really nasty messages every Tuesday morning. So I was like, maybe if I just step out of the public eye for a while and just let the art speak for itself, maybe that'll solve everything. And unfortunately it didn't. So, it was a lot of fun to come back on and talk hats again. Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
We'll get Rusty on one of these days too. So.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I see we still got some viewers, so you persevered, or maybe you joined us late. If you missed the first part, go back and watch the beginning.
Thank
You'll
you.
get to hear from Mike and talk about some of the, like, if you don't know where his nickname came from and the background, get that stuff. So there's some good stuff at the beginning. Thanks everyone who joined, and tune in next week. And our guest for next week, we're scheduled to have Levi on. So looking forward to
very cool.
another Clink designer.
Nice.
And then in 2 weeks, Mr. Vols himself is going to make an appearance. We had to reschedule because Indiana was in the national championship football game on that Monday night. And that was a conflict, which Glenn here said, we should probably ask Josh if he's going to watch the football game. And Josh was like, oh, yes, I am.
A really good call.
Yeah.
So he's coming on in 2 weeks down the road. So thanks for everybody for tuning in, and we got some more fun hat designers coming on. So we'll see you next week, everybody. Good night.